Hello. Hi. Holy shit. It's happening. It's a thing. Uh, shit. Okay. Welcome in. Welcome every to this thing. We're fuck. Uh, this is great. I'm doing so
It's
great.
fine.
Yeah. Welcome to this special inevitable one shot, DM'd by yours truly. This is my first time DMing on this channel, and my first time DMing outside of this channel. Also, in like I haven't DM'd since March. So this is a big ish deal. Things. Yeah, I'll go over stuff logistics in a second. But first, let's introduce our players. Three really cool people who volunteered their time for a very good cause. And yeah, we'll start with Anna.
Howdy, y'all. I don't know how to do any southern accents. Hi, I'm Anna or Riley, whichever one you prefer. I use they, them pronouns. And today I'll be playing Ophelia Smiles Buckley, she, her pronouns. I'm really excited. I've never played this game before. And yeah, also never been in a player seat with Steve as a GM before. So I'm really honored that I'm going to be part of the first ever Steve GM on this channel. So yeah, let's go.
Yeah, no pressure at all.
Don't worry, it's fine.
Mike.
you got this.
Hey, I am Mike, he, him pronouns. Today I will be playing the large, I like to think muscle of the group, Zebedee Doodah, Zip or Zippity to his friends. And I defy you all not to sing it now.
Swift.
Hey, I'm Swift. Pronouns are he, him. Today I'll be playing a character called Vega Inoxis. He's a knight. His pronouns are also he, him. Excited to be part of a non D&D RPG for the first time.
Hell yeah. Sorry, I'm just posting on socials and doing all those things. But yes, hello. I am going to be your GM. That is really weird to say, but I am going to be your GM. I'm Steve, also known as Sassy Vance. I run Pantsless Stables and a bunch of other things. And we're ready to do this. Before we start, a quick primer, I guess, on the system. Inevitable is a very roleplay heavy, roles light game. The vibe is that our players are going to be playing characters who are knights of the city called Myth. Myth is the last city of the civilized world that is left. The rest of the world has been ravaged by the forces of the cannibal saint. And as the name suggests, there's going to be references to cannibalism. There's going to be some references to desecration of the dead. There's going to be a bunch of undead. There's going to be weird gore, and there's going to be creepy shit related to dead bodies. That is a trigger warning, content warning for this game, and yeah, that's basically that. If any of that makes you squeamish, please do not feel obligated to sit through this game, because your safety as a viewer is also important, not just for us as players and DMs. Okay, so without more time wastage, let's hop into the thing, which is this. Yeah. So we start out on a deserted plain. Well, this entire place is a deserted plain, really. There's very little greenery or plants or trees. sort of thing. It's mostly just desert. It's sand, right? It's coarse, it's rough, it gets everywhere. Nobody really likes it. And no, I'm not quoting Darth Vader. How dare you? But there's a camera pans down on 4 knights on horseback rushing towards somewhere. As we slowly pan down to we'll start out with Vega. Tell us about yourself. Who are you, and why are you here?
Vega is a knight under the service of Sir Darian. He wears a well-maintained armor and has a crossbow for a weapon, a magical crossbow for a weapon. The crossbow's name is Rakhon, named after Egyptian gods of sun and moon. We are here to save the kingdom of myth from the terror of the cannibal saint.
Okay, Vega. What is Vega's vibe like? Is what is he wearing? What is the what sets him apart from his companions?
Vega wears a shiny metal armor and a deep flowing purple cape and purple cowboy boots. Sets him apart is a giant scar across the face, which he gains from his previous battles and wars. And what sets him apart is his character is mostly reserved. He's wise and also uses his words sparingly, and
Okay.
and whenever he speaks, he speaks something of importance. He wants his words to carry a lot of weight and impact in the conversation.
Okay, and would Vega be leading the fray? Would he be more in the middle? Where do you think he would be in this line of 4 horsemen?
Vega will be leading the back, being careful and look out for threats, vigilant.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so it's in the middle of a desert. It's really hot. You feel the sweat pouring down your backs, and you've been traveling for days at this point. It is really it's gotten tiring, exhausting, and it almost feels like you've lost track of how long it's been. And even though it is your job to travel on horseback from one place to the other, it is what you do. It is why you were made knights, to help protect the empire from or what's left of the empire from chaos. But it still doesn't get any easier. The heat and the stickiness and the humidity. Ophelia.
Yes. So Ophelia is young, first and foremost. She looks about 18 or 19, perhaps. She's got pale skin with like kind of mousy brown hair. It's like tied back in a ponytail to keep it out of her face, especially with like winds that sometimes can pop up and stuff like that. She wears this kind of Western, more like historical kind of dress, but it's patchwork. It's made out of what seems like all kinds of different fabrics, and some of the parts have bloodstains on it. So it's always kind of questionable where she got these garments from. She has this flail that looks kind of like at the end, the like the spiky end is metal, but it looks kind of like a shell of a conker that's been cracked open, and like in the sort of split in like where it's open, instead of a conker, there is a human skull in there that she refers to as Kenny, and sometimes she speaks to Kenny, just as if he's part of this group. Yeah, she's got this kind of not kind of wide-eyed kind of expression. She's often, I mean, her nickname is Smiles. She tends to smile a lot, but her reputation is more that of being kind of scary. And she is here for revenge. Because the guy that we're after, the cannibal king, killed her father, specifically the what was her name? The king. So she's kind of pissed off about that, and she's more pissed off about the fact that it wasn't her that got the throne, but her younger brother, that was put in charge. Go figure. So yeah, she is. Even though it's obviously very hot, and this is a very long and difficult trip, she is just driven by this need for revenge and for wanting essentially the empire. That's what she's here for.
Yeah, the empire or what's left of it, right?
Yeah, exactly. What's left of it, but yeah.
So tell me about Kenny. Is Kenny someone someone from Ophelia's past, or is it just a random skull she picked up along the way?
I think it's just a random skull she found. I think she'd been looking for one for a while. I think she previously the thing was just empty, the flail. And she'd been looking for one for a while, but every time she looked, like she found like some kind of skull, it was either like damaged or it wasn't, it didn't really fit. And then at one point she did find one that worked, and she managed to kind of mold like crack open the flail and just put it in there and mold it back together. But yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. As you hear the sound of crows or some sort of animal in like flying bird in the distance, you feel the weight of the horse's hooves hitting against the sand. This even though like you are in a desert, the path that you are following is a well-trodden path. So it's almost like the multitude of armies and people who have traveled this path, they've almost carved like a road-ish into the desert. It's not a typical cement road, of course, or like gravel. It's just sand, but it's been beaten down so much that it's a little bit easier than the coarse sand dunes on the sides. Ophelia, where in the party is Ophelia right now?
I think currently, maybe in the middle. I think she doesn't usually have like a set position. I think she just goes for whatever is kind of there, because when bad stuff happens, it's one of the first one to react anyway. So it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it doesn't really matter to her. She's very kind of unpredictable in that sense. So I guess maybe like in the middle, or maybe she'd even be like in the middle, and then sometimes she'd go up front and go to the back, kind of like changing position.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Which brings us to our final PC, Zippity Doodah. Tell us what the vibes are right now. with the heat.
So
Yes, go ahead.
It's Zip is quite physically imposing. He's about 6'4", quite a sturdy frame, but is a bit older than the rest. He's kind of in his sort of late 40s. Looks very kind of battle worn. Has kind of leather armor on, with a tattered cape cut off sort of halfway down his back, where it's been ripped and sewn and ripped again. He carries a shotgun in a harness on his shoulder, named Howler, that the lever of which is made from a kind of skeletal hand. It gives off a very, very kind of creepy aesthetic. He also carries a whip at his hip that is made from sinew. So he has a kind of a vibe to him as well. He has a scar across his eyebrow on the left-hand side, and his hair is kind of salt and pepper, white and black, with a very big white streak through the right half of it, slicked back. He has a grudge of his own against the Cannibal Saint. He too lost someone to the Cannibal Saint, but in a very different way. His younger brother is actually an acolyte of the Cannibal Saint, and this doesn't sit very comfortably with Zip, as you can imagine.
Understandably so. You are also accompanied by Angarad the Weeper. Angarad is a no-nonsense, just stoic and very much into his own thing. Angarad is also a he is an undertaker of sorts. He works for or he worships the lady of the lady of the slain, and Angarad as a you know from previous interactions with him and with conversations that you have had with him that he holds extreme reverence for the dead, for people who have died in war or of any other causes. And in conversations with him, you know that this man absolutely despises the Cannibal Saint and what everything he stands for, because of how much he desecrates the dead. You continue on your journey. It is still really hot, and the sun is slowly starting to set on the horizon. Since you are traveling west, you hear it before you see it. There is a loud horn, or a trumpet, or a conch. You're not really sure. It is something, and it is almost announcing your arrival, but also it fills you with dread. It is a war cry, and as you continue as your horses continue galloping towards the west, you see this giant fort come into view. This is a big boy, as people say. It's got 4 layers to it. It has extremely high walls. You can't really make out anyone, any soldiers or anyone else from this distance, but you can slowly start to see the giant walls come into view. There's each layer of battlements, as you get closer and closer, you see they are a different color. So they start out red, and then blue, then green, and then yellow, and each one is at a different layer. There's about 10 to 15 feet difference in height for each layer of the battle of the tower, of each tower. I mean, and it's almost a circular fort, and with circular rings inside each ring, going higher up than the previous one. Thank you for the $5 donation. You get a. Would you like to add or remove the D6 for the next roll? Let us know. I'm gonna bank that for our next for when we have a challenge for the thing. Let me also move this slightly out of the way. There we go. Yeah. So, as as you get closer to the fort, you also feel a cool breeze from behind. It's getting a little bit cooler. The night is starting to fall, and based on your experience, you know it's going to get really, really cold really quick because you're in the desert. You have a little bit of time here to talk amongst yourselves as you approach the fort.
Wait, are we setting up like camp here, or is it more just we're going in at night kind of situation?
For context, the fort that you are approaching is a fort that is controlled by the king of Myth. So it would be
Oh, great.
yeah. So this fort is I should have mentioned that. That's my bad. This is a fort that you're supposed to go to. This is the fort that you were instructed to head to gain more information about what's going on and how you can best help the cause. So this would be like ideally you would want to get here before nightfall so that you don't have to spend the night out. Even though you have spent enough time in the wild and in the desert, so it's not really like a problem. But hey, you know, a stiff bed is better than coarse sand.
Yeah. I think as they're approaching, people are like, well, I certainly hope we arrive in time. I am quite done with all the sand in my shoes.
It's just part of the life, isn't it? It's the one I'll never get used to.
Yeah, I'm considering maybe walking barefoot, but there's rattlesnakes and everything. Might not be the smartest play, but
Yeah.
just move a little faster. We'll be there in no time.
Yes, moving fast tends to attract attention, though. That's the problem.
Wow. I mean, don't we want them to see us? They know we're coming, right?
They can see us, yes. It's other things seeing us that I worry about out here.
Sure, I'll be
Anybody
fine.
else still worried about the loud horn that we heard earlier?
Maybe.
I mean, would we have heard this horn before, Steve? Is it like, would we imagine it came from the fort, or
yes.
did it sound
so
different?
the trumpet that you heard, it was the it's what you know from experience is what the soldiers are trained to play when announcing the arrival of someone important. But it is also the same sound that you like. It's similar to like the noise that they like the war cry. So it's like a. So you know that that the soldiers have spotted you, or at least the people up top have spotted you, and they are anxiously awaiting your arrival. So as you approach this fort, you notice that there are two guards standing at the entryway. They look young, very young. They're probably younger than Ophelia, really. And one of them is literally shivering in his boots because it started to get a little bit cold. He is not wearing any armor. And the other one, they have this jacket on, which is tattered in places and is not really doing much to protect them against the elements. It looks like a very much things put together for the sake of being put together, and less of we know what we're doing is the vibe that you get from here. The younger soldier, the one who's not wearing any armor, he lifts his spear and points it towards you. State your name and purpose. Why are you here? And before you even have a chance to respond, the guy next to him smacks him in the back of the head. Oi, these are the knights. This is the people who are sent to help us. What are you doing? Why? And the younger soldiers just look sheepish, and Are you sure? We don't know what they look like. Are you sure these are? Yes, I am
Well,
sure.
what were you expecting then?
Yes, I am sure. I've been sent descriptions of. We were sent descriptions of what they look like. Do you not listen to the morning briefings? Do you not? And he goes into a rant and a tirade on this young, poor young soldier who barely looks old enough to grow a beard. Okay. Hi. Welcome to the fort. Where. Hi. And he looks like he's very close to tears. And
I think Ophelia hops down from her horse and goes over. It's all right. Don't worry about it. Is it your first day?
First week. Yes. I've been here 5 days.
Oh, well, don't worry. You'll get used to it. I would wear something warmer, though, if I were you.
Yeah,
It's cold out here.
We have to earn our resources, and I haven't killed any undead yet, so
Well,
resources.
then you better get to it. I will say killing them is quite fun. You'll have a blast. Don't worry about it.
I will try. As he's stammering out his words and still in awe of you've been traveling for a few days, so you look tired and dusty, but he's still in awe of the armor you're wearing, the vibes that you carry, and just the reputation that you come with. And he's trying his hardest to present like an air of I'm totally not starstruck, is what he's trying to portray, and he's failing miserably at it. Behind him, you see this tall, like almost as tall as Zippity Doodah man walk up. He's wearing like a full plate armor. He's got a sword on his side, and he walks up and he's looks at the four of you, and he's like, "Oh, yes, hello, welcome. I am Sir Halston, the Oak. I am the de facto leader of Fort Crag. That's with a K, because we do have a Fort Crag with a C, but that's on the other side. It's not this one. It's Kragg. If you're taking notes. We've been expecting you. Thank you for getting here so quickly. I know things are not easy in other places as well. We've heard reports of a lot of chaos happening. Come on, let me take you upstairs. We'll take you to the battle room and we can figure things out from there. As you enter the fort, you are immediately hit with the smell. There is this horrible stench in the air that was mostly because of the thick walls of the fort. Was not you didn't feel it as much when you were outside. This fort is open, like the first layer of the fort is open, and you see these two giant cannons. And when I say giant, I mean like 40 feet high giant cannons. They don't so you know how regular cannons are like on the side and they like they have a wheel or like whatever, and they mostly like lay parallel to the ground. These ones, they are perpendicular to the ground. That's how, and they go up like 40 feet. You have heard rumors of cannons, of these cannons, but you have never really seen these because you've never traveled this far west in your experiences and your things. So you don't really, so you've not seen them, but you've heard stuff about it. Sir Halston offers each of you a rag to tie around your mouths. I'm sorry about the smell. it's a problem, but this is the only way to deal with some of this stuff. As we get higher, the smell will dissipate, so you don't really need this for very much longer. It's and the people down here, they are mostly used to it. How much do you know about the cannons, or about what we're doing here? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna give you a debrief, because we didn't really have much time to send much information across, except for help. We're dying here. So these are this is James, and that is Michelle, and he points to the cannons. They have names. These are like our last line of defense, basically, against the undead. The reason why they smell and other things is because someone a lot smarter than us, a lot smarter than me anyway, figured out that we can use the undead to fight the undead, and we've basically been using the hordes as cannon fodder, as cannon powder, even. It's...
Oh, I like that.
I thought you would. I've heard good things about all of you. This is something that we have been struggling with, because getting good gunpowder is not easy. But the undead, surprisingly, burn really fast and really well. So whenever we come across a horde, whenever a horde attacks us, whoever dies, or whoever is, people who don't make it, or even, unfortunately, people who get turned, they get tossed into the cannon for fodder.
So they go out with a bang. I do like that.
Exactly. I like you.
Thank you.
We have been struggling lately because
Steve,
yeah.
I was going to say, what's Angharad's reaction to this? Because it kind of seems like it wouldn't go with their vibe.
That's a good question.
Angarad is surprisingly not. He doesn't really give you a vibe on how he's feeling. He's very stone-faced, and right now he's. It looks like he's focused more on the task at hand than the other distractions, and he's trying his hardest to not say what he really means, because he doesn't want to cause an incident. Because as you would know, the last time he came across people who talked stuff about the undead and other things, it ended with multiple people with black eyes, including Angarad himself, and it turned into an incident, and like reports were filed, and like they threatened with legal action and other things, and it became like a problem. And he only narrowly escaped what's the word, dishonorable discharge, because they don't really have anyone else who serves the lady of this lane. So by default he is grandfathered in.
I will keep half an eye on him then, just in case he has an adverse reaction.
Yeah. Okay. So, Sir Halston, he takes you up this winding staircase that leads you from the lower level to the first level of the fort, and from here
Before we go upstairs, Sir Halston.
Yeah.
Sir Halston, before we go upstairs, are the guards outside keeping night watch?
Yeah, we don't really have a lot of guards, for reasons I will explain in a second, but yeah, we do try to keep a cyclical watch, guards outside, and up top. The guards up top are the ones who spotted you. So, yeah.
Sounds good. I'll be back real quick. Vega heads down to the entrance of the castle, to the fort, and undoes his purple cape and gives it to the guard who's um, not wearing armor and is shivering in the cold, and asks him to return it first thing in the morning when he's off duty.
Oh, thank you so much. We hear stories of your valor and your bravery and your might. We don't really hear stories about your generosity, and thank you. And you know what? For this kind gesture, for this thing, you're gonna take another reputation. I'm gonna give you. What is the word for when people care about their fellow man?
Empathy?
Yes, empathetic is
Empathetic,
the
yeah.
that is the reputation that you have gained. So
Vega heads back. Heads back up to the to join Sir Halston and the others as they go into the debriefing room.
yeah. So you are on the first floor, basically first layer of the fort, and you're still like he's taking you up a second layer and a third layer to the very top of the fort. While he's walking, he's still talking, still giving you more information. So we currently we were this is not the fort that I'm usually at. We were at the at Fort Korth, Corth. No, wait, Korth, because Korth is on the other side. Yeah, we were at Fort Korth, Korth, and our fort was laid siege by the forces of Gormund, the giant. He challenged Sir Catherine, my former immediate superior, I guess, to a duel, and she lost. And he stops for a second, and he looks off into the distance. I can still hear the sounds of her bones crunching under the weight of his club. I don't even know what they did with her body. Like, they didn't let us retrieve it. So Fort Korth has been it's under siege, or it was under siege, and it's been overtaken by the army of the undead. So we had to retreat to Fort Crag, and that is when I sent the letter, sent the raven to the king, asking for you reinforcements from you. By this time, you have reached the top of the fort. He takes you into this giant war room of sorts. There's a giant ass table on in the middle of it, with a huge map that almost covers the entire span of the table. And you notice that on this map there's Fort Crag marked, and you see that this you already know this, but it's still impressive to see the scale of this region. So the forts of the way that the defenses of this place are set up is that it's a layer of concentric circles, and based on the vibes that you have already seen with this fort and with the map that you're seeing, it seems like someone who, like, the person who made this was very much obsessed with circles, right? That's like the way the vibe is. Like, the city of myth is in the center, with 4 forts surrounding it. Then there's 8 forts surrounding those 4 forts. Then there's 16 forts surrounding those 8 forts. About, like, in about, I would say, like 200 to 300 kilometers distance between forts is how it would. That's basically how it looks.
A question.
Yeah.
Have these forts been here a long while? Would Ophelia know anything about the history of when these were built, considering, these essentially, you said this is like part of the kingdom. So
Yeah.
is she. It was like, the king sent her, like, she's like, yeah, that's like my brother. So like, would she know anything about like kind of, was this like, is this like, built by her like great grandparent or whatever, or is this like new?
No, these forts are very old. They have been around since the dawn of time, really, dawn of civilization even. There is not much information about who built them exactly, since the line of succession for your family goes back only 5 generations. Before that, it was a different dynasty who ruled. Before that, it was a different one. And you don't really, like, there is not really... these forts look like they're at least a couple thousand years old, if not more. But there's like, it also kind of feels like it would be impossible to build these even with today's architecture skills that people have. So there are a lot of rumors and theories about, ancient beings that came from the skies to build these, or people who came from the center of the earth who went back, or an ancient civilization that was so advanced that it destroyed itself. But these forts are the only remnants of it. There are a lot of theories like that, but there's not really any specific proof for any of it.
Right. That makes sense. Okay.
Do they all follow the same design, the circular level design, or are they different designs of fort?
You would know that they are all the same design. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So he takes you up to this war room, and there's a bunch of people. There's a bunch of people, bunch of soldiers sitting there. Some of them look tired, exhausted. They stand up to attention the minute you enter, and Sir Halston looks at them and just sighs. There'll be time for introductions later. For now, this is what we need help with. And he points to the map and shows you where you are on the map and where Fort Korth is. And so this is what we need help with. And before he can say anything else, you hear another loud trumpet noise coming from about 20 feet above you. So there's the assumption, like, you look up, it's like a stone roof, but like you remember seeing a small watchtower for a couple of soldiers to sit up there, and Sir Halston immediately panics and he knocks over a glass of water, spills it over the map. You can tell that this man, he has recently taken command after Sir Catherine's death. He was her second in command, but he doesn't look like he has much experience in the whole.
Does anyone in this fort have any experience?
Nope.
Oh,
Absolutely
wonderful.
not. He looks like a capable fighter, but he doesn't look like a capable leader. At least not yet. That is, immediately starts barking orders at the lieutenants around him. What is going on? Give me some information. I don't like being blind to what is happening. And you hear the sound of running footsteps as 2 soldiers, out of breath, run up to you and are like, a horde. We see a horde. There's a huge horde coming. It's almost here. Help.
Can I see the cannons in action?
Yeah, definitely. And you hear this loud alarm bell go off, and everyone starts rushing to what looks like battle stations. They know where they're supposed to go. Everyone is whatever. Sir Halston looks at the four of you, and he's like, okay, we are down a lot of soldiers. Most of them perished in the battle to protect Korth, and we could use all the help we can get right now. Do
you have any captive undead?
All the undead get turned into bones powder. Do you want to interrogate them, or the undead?
No. No.
Okay. He takes you to the edge of the fort, like the battlement side, whatever, and the moon is up now. By this time, it is a full moon, and for a few seconds, for even a few minutes, you don't see anything. But then, again, like earlier, you hear it before you see it. You are way up, so you don't really feel the earth shake as this horde marches towards the fort, but you do hear the shuffling sounds that they make. You see a small cloud of dust that is forming as these undead walk towards the fort. Now is the time that we will issue a challenge.
Yeah.
It is going to be
Okay.
2 challenges for well, actually, we're not going to talk about how many challenges just yet. First, Sir Halston turns to you and is like, what? We need instructions, we need orders. I am not a leader. Tell us what to do.
Well, kill them, of course.
We need to maintain a calm mind and think about a thorough strategy before we charge our soldiers into action. Vega looks around the room during the meeting and sees that there are. He looks for the light source inside the war room that we were earlier. What does he see?
So the soldiers who were in the war room, they have all rushed to their battle stations. Someone's so you notice that these
He looks
soldiers,
for the light source in the war room.
it's just a torch. There's a bunch of torches. Yeah. So basically, what you notice is that these soldiers, there's like a few of them have rushed up top, and they have started burning. They started heating up oil to throw down from the top of the fort. There are a couple who've grabbed some sniper rifles, and they are preparing to attack when the horde gets closer. There's also some who've grabbed a few crossbows on the other side. And you also notice that there are some soldiers who have rushed down to the gate of the fort, and they are standing there awaiting instructions on how to proceed.
I think
Sir
it's
Halston-
important that we establish a line of sight to the undead before we proceed. Do we have any expendable rags that we can light on fire and toss them along the way to illuminate the surroundings and see the undead more clearly?
Sir Halston sighs. I don't think we can spare any. We have very limited resources in terms of cannon fodder. We can use it to fire at the the horde, but I don't think we have enough resources to spend them to light the surrounding area up. It's been rough lately to find more and more undead, because as the living become scarce, they have started to feast on themselves, and it's becoming a problem.
Well, then let's get you some more. It seems like it presented itself.
Yeah.
Looks like we
So-
have no other option but to charge into battle.
Well, Kenny's been
think-
very thirsty, and his favorite drink is blood, so I think that works perfectly.
Yeah, looking around, I think if anyone's going to ride out and meet this horde, it pretty much looks like it's us.
Okay. While you've been discussing, the horde has been slowly inching closer. It's now at a distance where it's still pretty far away, but from this distance you can tell. You can start to see them, and the moonlight is strong enough that you can, like, it's illuminating these hordes of people, and as they get closer, like you can see the division happening really quickly. I want to check something really quick. Okay, so what is the plan right now above the table? What are you planning to do?
Ophelia's probably gonna try and hit some of them if they come close enough, or at least join. If like soldiers or so are gonna like try and fight them, she's planning to join them.
Okay, yeah, cool. That makes sense. So I'm assuming that Ophelia and Zippity, you're going down with the soldiers. Vega,
Yeah,
are you
I
going
think
to go down
face
as
them out
well?
front.
Are you going to stay up? What are you planning to do?
Um, does Vega know about the magical weapon that Angarad holds?
Yes, you would know. You would know that Angarad has a spear. It's called the Giant's Fang. It was made from a giant elephant's tusk, and an elephant that Angarad single-handedly defeated and stopped it from rampaging and destroying a village. And the weapon was then imbued with magical properties from the Lady of the Slain, and yeah, it kind of works like a it has a very, what is it called, like the thing, it has a very long rope attachment to it, almost like, it can be thrown and then retrieved. That is the vibe for
I know
the
what
spear
you
as
mean.
well. Like, it can be used in melee combat, but also it can be thrown and retrieved using the rope.
Like a harpoon, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like, a trident with loyalty on it if you play Minecraft.
I asked Angarad to accompany me to provide cover for Ophelia and Zippity from a distance,
Okay.
while we take our spots partially hidden but still exposed enough to be able to attack any of the undead that are coming our
Okay.
way.
So are you going down or are you staying up to provide cover?
We are going down and trying to find a cover from which we can reasonably protect them, because Vika judges that Angarad's spear will not help if we are high above the horde.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So Angarad's spear has a range of about 40 feet, and you are currently about 60 feet high within the battlements. So you could go down, or you could go to like a lower level and aim from there, so that you are still up, protected, because you have long range weapons, and the melee fighters can go down. That's something that you could do, definitely.
Okay, then from the fourth layer, which is 60 feet high. I'm guessing. Am I right? The
Sorry.
top player where we were was 60 feet high.
Yep.
Okay, we get down to a reasonable 15, 10 or 15 feet high, the first layer of the ground, and set up our positions there.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Since you are basically sniping at this point with your crossbow and everything, you notice something very strange. You have fought your fair share of undead hordes. You have fought a lot of these creatures before, and these undead look and feel and move very differently from the undead that you have fought. They seem to be marching towards the fort almost with purpose. It's almost like they have a target in mind. Most of the undead you fought have just been wandering around aimlessly, just they come across something and they destroy it and they move on. But they've never been so focused. And you know this for a fact that the undead, being undead, they have severely limited brain function compared to living humans. And with your weapon, as you aim down sights on these hordes, you see that a few of these undead also look different. They seem to be, you can't really tell from this distance, but they seem to be talking. They seem to be muttering, or they seem to be moving their mouths. Most of these undead that you have seen, they just that's what they do, right? But these ones, they look different. They feel different. And now is when I will issue you a challenge. These in this horde of undead, there's about, I would say, 50, 60 undead, probably even more. They are surrounded. They are in the middle of this horde are these 3-4 undead that look very different. They're for all of them, the skin is rotting. It is peeling off their bones. It is death and desecration and just defiance and just sadness almost. These bodies have been raised, exhumed. These undead have been converted from living people, have been killed to turn to the undead. And so the challenge it's going to be a twofold challenge. Firstly, for you as you're up in the battlements, you are aiming down sights on these creatures. Something tells you that these 4 different undead, they need to be taken out. It's almost like your crossbow is whispering to you. It's telling you that there is something wrong here. The hair on the back of your neck starts to stand up. You feel goosebumps all over your skin, and that is your first.
Oh,
Sorry,
go ahead.
Yeah. So that is your first challenge, Vega. You are a very skilled marksman. You have no problem. You will take these undead out with ease. The challenge is to not kill them. These four. Sorry, give me 1 sec.
Vega sees that they are different from the other undead, and they seem to be muttering words or commands to the rest of the zombie horde, and in order to um, prevent their forward movements, Vega takes aim at their feet, and launches 4 shots at each of the different undead in rapid succession. Rakhon is blessed by the moon god, so the the bolts that the crossbow fires are fast and jet black and can't be seen or noticed by the uh, undead or anybody else for that matter during the nighttime.
That's pretty cool.
That is really
useful.
cool. That is really cool. Yeah. Okay. So with the aim to maim and not kill, that is your challenge. So the way that the challenges work for people at home, the way that you roll in this game is very different from other systems. You build a dice pool is basically what you have to do. So you start with 1d6. That is your first dice. Are you using a reputation that will help you in this situation?
No.
Okay. Do you have equipment that will help you? Yes, you have your crossbow. So that's a second dice.
Yeah.
Are you putting yourself at risk to succeed?
No. I'm at a distance and I have Angra with me.
Okay. Would you like to put yourself at risk to succeed?
Yes. I noticed that the horde is being led by the four different undead, and Vega. It feels very important to him that they should be taken care of um, at any cost.
Okay. So what we can do is to put yourself at risk. Something that we can put forward is you are leaning out over the battlements to get a much better shot, and putting yourself at risk that way, where one wrong step and you might fall. Does that work or would you prefer something else?
Yeah, that works.
Okay, so that is 3 dice. Is this task unusually dangerous? It is not. Do you have a reputation that will hinder you? I don't think so. And you're not doing this alone. You are with Angrad. So roll me 3d6.
All of them are threes.
3s. Fuck. Okay. So on a 1 to 3,
Start.
you suffer a consequence and you fail at your task. And you rolled 3s. So you suffer a consequence and you fail at your task. Since it wasn't a 1, you don't fall. But since it was definitely a 3, you managed to fire your 4 shots. And 3 of those shots land square in the middle of the eyes of the 4 people that you were trying to target. 4 undead that you were trying to target. Your 4th shot, you're not really sure what happened. A crossbow shouldn't have this much recoil, but for some reason it's almost as if Rakon was fighting you in a way. Like you feel like Rakon was like, "You're fucking up, dude," and did not want you to kill this 4th undead
Different kind of
horde
undead, yeah.
person guy. Your crossbow recoils, it hits you in the shoulder, and you drop it, and it falls 20-30 feet down outside the fort, in basically line sight of the enemy horde. Your 4th bolt does hit, and here's the fun thing that happens. When you hit these 4 for lack of a better word, when you hit these 4 fuckers, right, you immediately see the undead, especially more so with Ophelia and Zippity. You are behind the gates waiting to charge, waiting for the go ahead to charge, and you notice that the horde, it seems to falter. 1 shot, this guy drops, and it's like the horde, it's like you wouldn't know this as characters, but as players, it's like when you try to start a car and you let go of the clutch way too quickly, and it jerks backwards or forwards. It's a stick drive, not a automatic car, and that is what it looks like to you as players. The horde stops almost for a second, and then continues walking, and then stops again, and then continues walking forward. The 4th hit that you hear is accompanied by a loud scream. A loud motherfucker, almost, is what you think it says. And immediately red flags go off. The undead don't talk. They don't have vocal cords. Or even if they did, they are decayed beyond use. They don't have the brain capacity to talk. What the fuck is going on? You also notice that these undead who looked focused, and they looked like they were doing the do, and they were doing their thing, start to break off. And what was a horde of 60 heading right towards the fort is now a group of 20 wandering, with the others wandering around, not looking at the fort, but just starting to break off from the pack. I will now issue a challenge to either Ophelia or to Zippity. You know what Vega knows. We established in session 0 and earlier that you can communicate with each other across long distances, whether it's telepathy or whatever else, but you can communicate with each other. And you know that Vega wanted to maim, not murder.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
maybe Ophelia looks at Zippity and then goes like, "That whip of yours, you think you can restrain it? I will hold him off."
I think so. If we can break through the line. I'll see if that fellow wants to come for a little ride.
Tie it around his neck and pull it around. I think that'd be funny. Like a little dog.
Yes. Let's hope his head doesn't pop off.
Well,
Yet.
yeah, not yet, no. Vega would kill us. Alright, I think
Well,
we're
looks like it's me then.
well,
I
yeah.
telepathically
I feel it would help because I think I feel it would try and hold the others, like the other zombies, like off so you can try and tackle the one. I guess I don't know if that's allowed
Yeah.
or possible in this challenge, but
Yeah. So
Seems to work.
what I'm gonna do for this is, Ophelia, you are a capable fighter. You know how to take out these undead. Defeating, fighting a horde of undead, 40, even 100, when they're wandering around aimlessly, is no challenge for you. It's only when they're focused and targeted and they're whatever this was, when it's a bigger problem. So this is not a challenge for you.
Mhm.
But for Zippity, this is something different. You mostly use your whip to attack. You've very rarely used it to restrain or even wrap around someone's neck and drag them away. So this is the challenge for you to use Ophelia's distraction to get this dude out of the horde.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
A question.
Yep.
So we saw that the horde was around 40 feet far from the uh, fort when we first noticed them. How far away were they when Vega attacked the different kind of undead?
I would say about the same, about between 20 and 40 feet. That's how far they were. The undead walk slow,
Vega
so
telepathically communicates to Ophelia and Zippity and asks them to retrieve Rakon on the way back if possible, if they are charging into battle.
somebody would be like, "Ask nicely, please."
Ophelia, Zippity, I seem to have dropped my crossbow during while I was attempting to get the undead. Please retrieve it for me if you are charging into the battlefield.
I will see if I can find it.
okay.
Fair.
Zippity, time. Oh, by the way, you have one showdown token because of the 3. So that's one banked for later. Also, I forgot about the extra d6. So, Mike, you get to use the d6 for your thing.
Yeah.
That's my bad. Okay. So
It's all good.
let's build your dice pool for your challenge. You start with 1d6. Are you using a reputation here?
Yep.
Okay, which one?
Yeah, I think him being dexterous is probably the most useful one because it means he'll be able to manipulate the whip into a way that he can restrain the other whilst riding his horse very quickly at him as well. So yeah, I think his dexterity is going to be the useful one.
Okay, great. Do you have equipment? Yes, you have your whip. That's another d6. Are you putting yourself at risk? I would say yes.
Yes, I'm riding straight through a horde of zombies. Yeah.
If you have a reputation that will hinder you, you don't. this task is unusually dangerous for you, so you lose a d6 for that.
Yeah.
So you roll 3d6 then.
Does that include any of my? Can I aid in that way, or is that not how it works?
So you being there is making sure there's no debuff. There's
okay,
no,
cool.
you don't get
Yep.
a buff for your friends helping. Unfortunately, the system
No, that's all right.
it's
That's
the opposite. Yeah.
That's cool. And that includes the bonus d6, does it? The
No.
three?
Wait, that's 4 then. Yeah.
Woo. Okay, 4d6. Here we go. Okay, it's 2 5s, a 3, and a 2.
Okay. Yeah. Five is good. 5 is good. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna give this to you, Ophelia and Zippity. Describe to me how you do this, and then I'll talk about the consequence.
I feel like they would both sort of run in the same time, but Vidya sort of runs ahead and just start with the fucking flail, just start mowing these undead down, and like quite like efficiently too. It seems like because she's experienced, like you said, she knows exactly where to hit them to knock them out in one go. And it's just also like just getting covered in like blood and shit, but she doesn't seem to care. I think like along the way she's like, oh, there's a crossbow, and she'll like pick it up and like put it over her shoulder and just continues to like, yeah, just around like like a circle around Zippity. There's like just undead like falling down.
I love that. Zippity.
Yeah, so Zippy's gonna kind of brace himself very low to the neck of his horse, and ride fully through whilst Ophelia's mowing people out the way for him. And then as he approaches the strange undead that was talking, he's going to drop kind of out, take his foot out of one stirrup, drop himself kind of halfway down on the horse, and use his whip to almost lasso the other guy, and then do a big arc around and come back, dragging this guy behind him.
I love that. I will say, as Ophelia and Zippity, you rush forward to capture this one dude. Vega, you see Angarad, and you see a couple of other soldiers aim their weapons and start firing at the horde that decided to break away at those undead. And almost in like a moment of almost perfect synergy, the four of you watch these kids almost work together in unison to defeat this horde of undead. When you lean down and you whip the dude, Zippity, you feel a pinch in your shoulder, and you think nothing of it, but when you're bringing the undead back, you feel it start to hurt a little bit more. Your shoulder is slightly tweaked, and for the next 24 hours of in-game time, you will have one less dice if you're issued a challenge, to give your shoulder enough time to recover. So if you're using the whip or if you're using the shotgun, you won't be able to fire it as properly or use it as well because your shoulder has been tweaked. That's the consequence of the 5. It's a success, but at a cost. So that's the cost, basically.
This is what you get when you make a character who's in their 40s. I know this pain too well.
I love that.
Oh, good.
The soldiers and the others make quick work of the rest of the undead. they and once the horde has been defeated, Sir Halston
Can
takes
I
you
also
to
add that when like the horse of feet, like Ophelia will grab one by the ankle and drag it to Sir or like horse and be like, "Got cannon fodder for you," and just drops it.
Thank you so much. This is very helpful. This is enough cannon fodder for at least 5 more hits, if not more, and that's sometimes life or death. 5 more hits.
Great. I will also go to Vega and we'll like take the crossbow. It's like, you gotta get a wristband or something. This is like the third time now you've dropped it, I think. And we'll just hold out.
I think Baker takes it from Ophelia. Thanks a lot for bringing this back to me. I will consider tying a rope around it next time.
Good. Also, I will find out Althea's covered in blood. they're just fucking. They don't seem to be that bothered.
You look like you need a shot.
Yeah. Well, can't wait. It's fine. Doesn't that?
I feel like blood is Ophelia's favourite hair product.
Yeah. What do you make the hair is like tied back so it doesn't get in the way of like everything?
The undead that you captured has been screaming, squealing, cursing, swearing profanities at the 4 of you, and Sir Halston shows you a barracks, not barracks, sorry, a prison thing where he takes you to this small little corner. It's like an outhouse, almost. It's just like a pair of chains you can tie this dude to. Zippity, you notice that this undead is extremely fucked up, yo. And not like the regular undead fucked up, but like this dude is not wearing any clothes. Even the undead type. His entire body, or their entire body, is covered in leather. It's a weird patchwork of leather that is different shades of leather, and it looks like they're wearing that as clothes. Looks like it's sourced from different sources. I'm trying to see how far I can push.
I think we can. Yeah.
Cow leather's not the only leather. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
And it smells like you would expect a cemetery to smell like if all the bodies were exhumed. And it's almost like there's the patchwork on it and all of the. It looks like someone put a lot of effort into making this look like an undead. Even the face, the hair, the everything.
Do I know if Uncle Dearest was a bit of a scientist?
No, he was not actually. The Cannibal Saint is famously dumb as rocks.
Okay, good to know. I think like
Go ahead.
I think if Symphony would over like guess and tell him like Pantsless like point out, he's just like, well, certainly won't be my uncle. I don't think he'd figure out how to, I don't know, even exhume a body.
Can we give them a bit of a clean up and see? Are they actually undead?
And as you approach this tied up person, just looks up at you, piece of shit, absolute fucking morons. What have you? Why am I here? Why have you captured me, of all people? Do you not know who I am?
Should we?
Well, actually, you know what? Never
I
mind
could
that.
ask you the same thing.
Yeah. Do you know who we are?
Yeah,
Why don't we
the-
make introductions? Who are you?
Vega
My-
sits back and is standing away from all of this with a guilty look because he now thinks he considers the possibility that the other three he had killed were also people and not people dressed up as undead and not real undead, and he feels very guilty about it, and he refuses um, to participate in this conversation because he's glum about it.
That makes sense.
let me go. I have done nothing wrong. There is no. Why am I in prison? Why am I imprisoned? What is this bullshit?
Oh yes, so here comes the cock and bull story about how you're wearing a patchwork of, let's call it leather, to enable you to move freely amongst the undead and seek refuge amongst your people, us, rather than commanding a troop of undead and bringing them to our doorstep. Yes.
What? No, I was commanding the troop of undead. What do you mean? Do you know how much
okay.
effort
So
goes into this?
you admit that. Why are you trying to act like this isn't a thing? You know we're at war, right?
Yeah, and you're on the losing side. What? I don't understand why you insist on fighting a war that you've lost already.
That's really funny. I still didn't catch your name though.
I don't have one.
What do you mean you don't have one? I can give you one. Do you want a name?
No, it's fine.
Oh,
I
we gotta call you something. What about Mr. Bullshit?
you can call me whatever you want. I don't really care. The bottom line is, I am part of an
I'm
elite.
going to spill my guts and tell you all the plans. Yes, we know
Yes.
that bit, but
No, there is no plan. We don't need a plan. It is easy.
Oh, okay. Hang on. You say we're on the losing side, but you don't have a plan. This is the funniest thing I've heard all day.
Do you know how many people have died in this world
Yeah,
throughout the history of time?
a lot.
And do you know how many people are alive today?
Not as many.
I would say it's a ratio of 1 to 10 alive to undead.
Okay, and your point is?
You are fighting a losing war.
So you decided to join on the side of the undead.
I built the undead.
Okay.
The cannibal
They just look
saint.
special. They add like Zippity. Like, what's this guy on about?
No,
Cannibal
come on.
saint.
You built the undead.
Yeah. The cannibal saint was nothing but a cannibal. That's all he was. That's all he saw the dead were good for food.
Mm.
I'm the one who came up with this. It is all been me. And you see, while this person is talking, their mouth is moving, but it almost feels like the sound coming from their mouth is delayed.
Mm.
Like
It's not in sync.
like it's very difficult to discern it, but there's like half a second almost. Like if when you say a word, the way
Yeah.
your mouth moves and the way you talk is the sound comes at the same time. But this kind of looks like you are watching someone from like if you were at the top of a fort and you were looking down at someone and they yelled something at you. You would see their mouth move before you heard the sound.
Right. Think in that case, like, are you actually in the room with us? This is a vessel.
They're all vessels.
It's not what I asked, smartass.
I think
Honestly, you answer questions like a politician.
um, Hearing this conversation, Vega perks up. He realizes that the other three undead that he slayed were also not actually people, but either supporters of the army of the undead or vessels of the person we are speaking to right now. And he questions the prisoner. Who were the other three people with you who look just like you?
oh, expendable 1, expendable 2, expendable 3. I don't know.
Still didn't answer my
And
question.
this is expendable
though.
4 in front of us.
Yeah,
yes.
exactly. And where exactly are you? Other than hiding like a coward.
Where I am is not important because you'll never get to me.
That's what a coward would say. Got it. I'll change your name from Mr. Bullshit to Mr. Coward. I think that's more fitting.
You're free
Coming
to call
out
me.
live over Flesh Radio. Yes.
Yeah. So what was the plan? Bring a horde of undead here, take over the fort? I think that sounds like it would be a plan.
It's
Is Sir Halson in the room with us nearby?
yeah, he's standing right outside while this interrogation is happening. And when Ophelia, when you call him Mr. Coward, you see his expression change, and this you can barely see his face, but his expression under all of the, and he starts to almost starts to sputter and stutter and you can call me whatever you want, but it doesn't change facts. You are, like I said, you are all fighting a losing war. The army of the undead will take over, and we will succeed in whatever the cannibal saint wants us to do. You are useless, pathetic. Even there is no. And while you're talking, the voice cuts off.
Okay.
and it's like in their anger or in their emotions ran too high, and they seemingly looks like they've lost control. And the person in front of you looks up. What? And then looks down and just starts screaming. Just
Uh-oh.
what the fuck?
Someone
What?
took
What?
it.
What? Huh? What is
Yeah,
going on?
hi.
the
Funny
fuck is going on?
story. It's okay. Don't worry about
Who
it.
are you? Why am I tied up? What the? What? Let me go. I didn't do anything wrong. I don't know what is going on. Why am I?
What's the
what am I
last thing
wearing?
you remember?
I don't know. I went in for a. They were looking for researchers, and I've been researching. Oh God.
Where?
Who's they? Yeah, where and also who's they? Because the other guy didn't really answer. Just really avoided questions. Honestly, kind of annoying.
True.
I don't know. I last thing I remember, I was near the Salt Sea, and I got a raven saying they were looking for researchers and a location to meet, and I got there, and oh God, I don't know.
What's
I-
that location?
Yeah, what was it?
The Salt Sea.
Salty.
The So you know this as knights. The Salt Sea is is like somewhere in the middle of the other side of the land. It's so far away that it wasn't even on the map that you saw up on the
Right.
in the battlements. It's like over there where, and it's basically rumored to be the headquarters of the Cannibal Saint.
Right. Okay.
They said they would. He promised he would bring my family back. He said,
You should learn really quickly. I mean, you've learned it now. Promises don't really mean anything here.
I don't know. Please help me. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how I got here. I don't know why am I dressed like this? Why? Oh God.
I mean, you were definitely involved in research, if that helps.
Yeah. Just on your own side, you know.
But it's all right. We'll get you cleaned up, get you some clothes.
Yeah, what's your
send you somewhere
name?
where.
Uh,
Oh, good question.
me? I'm
Yeah.
eh. They
I
call
can
me
give you
no. They call me Monty. That's
Auntie.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm from Myth. And
I mean, we're all from Myth.
yeah, I guess. And please, you need to help me. I don't know what they've done to me. I don't know how I'm here. Let me just untie me. Let me. And he pulls against the chains, and immediately you hear this loud creak, and you hear like the sound of knuckles cracking, but like a lot louder. And immediately this dude sitting in front of you freezes, and then he leans back, and he looks at the three of you, at the four of you, and he smiles. What do we have here?
Hello.
and you recognize the voice of the cannibal saint.
Oh yeah, Amelia just goes like, "Oh hi, Uncle."
Hi, Ophelia, my favorite niece. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
Oh, feasting on the undead and
Yeah, of course.
creating plans to kill you and your brother. The usual. Just like I
Yeah,
killed your dad.
you
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I heard from my researcher that you kidnapped one of my test subjects. I guess the cat's out of the bag, huh? So much for that. Yeah, I was hoping that it would.
Surprise.
Yeah, I was hoping it would be at least a few more months before you figured this out. But hey, shit happens.
Well, you've never been the sharpest tool in the shed, now have you?
Well, why you don't need to be smart when you can pay people to pay people who are smarter than you to do the things you want them to do. So.
Well, they didn't do a good job though, so maybe find better people.
I mean, I managed to destroy more than half of what was left. So I feel like I'm doing a pretty good pace to take over by the end of next year. Seems good enough. Anyway, so when I was told that we had the incredible Zippity Doodah and Vega and Angerad the Weeper all together with my favorite niece, I just had to show up. Don't ask me how this works because I don't know either. But apparently it is pretty cool. And so I have
if
a
we'd have
proposition.
known you were coming, we'd have baked a cake.
Ooh, that sounds really good. Do you know that if you can actually use blood instead of eggs for the cake and it tastes even better?
Yeah, you've told us like on several occasions at family dinners. I think alarm bells should have gone off by then. Strangely enough, it didn't. I wonder why.
Yeah, same. Anyway, I don't have much time. Just here to send a message, really. Ophelia, my favorite niece. Things between us didn't end on the best of terms. Plus all the shit that happened with your dad. I, in hindsight, probably should have found a better way to do it.
What a better way to kill him.
Yeah, so that
What are you talking about?
that wouldn't have put your brother on the throne. Should have killed your brother first, and then him, because then you would have the throne. Because there is no other way they would give you the throne unless your brother's dead, right? Because
No, well, yeah, because he's a boy, and that's
no,
just
because
how
he's also more talented than you in every way. But that's not the point.
Sure. Funniest story from the man who lived in my father's shadow his entire life, but I'm sure that's got nothing to do with it. What do you want?
Simple. I am giving you 24 hours. Each of you, really. I don't care who it is. Ophelia, like I said, or even Zippity, or Vega, or Angerad. Although I don't think Angerad is going to take me up on this offer. But here's what I have for you. Ophelia, renounce your brother as the king. Join my side. I will give you everything.
This is like the second funniest joke I've heard today. Yes, sorry, continue.
I will give you everything you wanted, including the throne. Myth can be yours. Without
Did you hear that? You can rule over a kingdom of one.
Yeah, well, you see, this is the problem. You think the thing I want the most is the throne, but the thing I really want the most is to kill you. So I don't think that's gonna happen. But funny joke though.
I can reunite you with your dad. He's not dead,
Oh,
Death is not the end.
Yeah, pass. I don't think that's gonna work.
That's completely up to you.
Alright.
Zippity, old friend, we have fought together. We have fought each other. You saved my life a couple of times. I saved yours a few times. Come join me and your brother. He is here. I see him in front of me. He's been asking for you this entire time. Just renounce myth. Give up on this useless crusade. This, whatever this is. Look at you. You've run yourself ragged. And what do you have to show for it? Fuck all. 24 hours.
I've got my friends. I've got a licorice root in my pouch. You never gave me those. And I've got the satisfaction of ruining your day over and over again. That's enough. Tell my brother I said hi. In fact, I'll tell him myself when I break your neck.
Vega, you have always been the most loyal soldier. You are Sir Darian's favorite, the end-all, be-all, right-hand man for all of that. Why are you wasting your time with these useless knights in not even shining armor? Sir Darian's not here. Do you know where he is? I know where he is. I saw him yesterday. And I gave him the same offer I'm going to give you. Renounce the King of Myth. Bring me the bodies of your compatriots. Join me. And I will give you everything you've ever wanted.
Unlike you, I have not renounced my humanity, and I still have my faith that humanity will beat the odds and come out victorious in this battle. Stay alert, for we are coming for you, and we are going to take you down.
Good luck with that. And then he turns to Angerad. You and I, we don't really see eye to eye.
Everybody's gonna try it with him. Sorry.
I have done things to the dead that you don't approve of. And I get that.
Thing. Hilarious.
But you are the strongest asset that these people have. I know you, and I know that despite our differences, we can work together. Because at the end of the day, what is the undead if not persevering beyond death? And I am so tired of this back and forth. It would be so much easier for everyone involved if you just gave up this unnecessary belief in the Lady of the Slain. and instead to divert your attention to the cannibal saint instead.
Steve.
Yeah.
Zippity would like to position himself behind Monty at this point. And he is going, while this speech is going on, he's just going to look up eventually halfway through the speech to Angharad, and just go, sometimes salesmen need to know when the pitch is over. And he is going to break the neck of Monty, who was a bad dude anyway. He signed up for the other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
In the middle of trying to bring Angarad over to the dark side,
Useless.
Monty just stops talking. And I think that is the perfect time to take a break.
Yes, I love that. That was so. This guy's such a loser.
Okay. We'll be back in 10, 15 minutes. And
Yes.
we're back. Hello. We're back from break. Right before we left off, we had a Zippity kind of snapped Monty's neck. So Monty's tata bye-bye. And yeah, I think the sound of the neck snapping is so loud that Sir Halston, yes, that steps in, looks at the mess, and he's like, he just shrugs. Okay, well, now that that's sorted, can we go back to the task at hand? I think we should. Okay, so the reason why we asked you to come here, and he leads you back upstairs while talking. We're stretched very thin, and we need resources, and we need to figure out a way to fix shit without doing everything, because we can't do everything. So the way we see it, we have three options. One, we go after the giant government. Defeating the giant will cause a huge blow to the Cannibal Saints forces, and that is and it'll potentially help us get back Fort Korth. The other option, something that we have been kind of trying to figure out, is more of a diplomacy thing. The Cannibal Saint employs or has a contentious partnership with people who live in the Forbidden Wastes. Forbidden Wastes is the desert that you're in. Two of these communities, I guess. One of them is the Great Mourner, Ogvad. He commands a wake of vultures. These vultures scour the lands, and they report back to him as spies. The other, in return, the Cannibal Saint offers the vultures undead to feast on. The other ally that, well, not an ally, but, partnership that the Cannibal Saint has is with the Muzzled. This is a wizard, a gunsmith wizard, who manufactures arms for the Cannibal Saint. We would like to cause some interference there. So you can either go after the giant, or you can go for you can try to build a diplomacy with the vultures, or try to forge connections with the muzzled, with the gunsmith wizard. Those are 3 options that we have.
Do the vultures, so they belong to the giant, right?
No, the vultures work
Oh, they
with.
don't.
They are commanded by Ogvard, the Great Mourner,
Right.
who basically he has a. We don't really know what kind of relationship he has with the vultures, but it feels like they understand him and he can speak to them.
Which one's closer
So-
to us?
Good question.
The vultures and the gunsmith wizard are on opposite sides, but they're almost the same distance. It's about a 2 days journey. The giant, we don't know where he is. You're going to have to look for him.
Yeah, that's boring.
You see, like, it's boring, but I feel like the guys here might get a bit of a morale boost from us taking out the guy who slain their leader. So, you know, that might
That's true.
rally the troops.
Maybe I get to hit him. That'd be fun.
For the giant, by the way, he also tells you, our scouts report that the giant has plans to host a feast based
Okay.
on using all the dead that he killed at Korth.
Right. So he's
That's
a
his
cannibal too.
Everyone who works for the Cannibal Saint is, in a way, a cannibal. Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
So
Well.
we don't really have any idea where the giant could be. So it's you'll have to go to court and investigate and find a trail.
Yeah, I mean, he'll have to have a feast somewhere, where you can prepare. I guess,
Well,
unless he eats it raw. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. They don't really care about
And
it.
how easy is it to transport a huge number of corpses, really?
True.
I wouldn't know. We don't
We
have that
won't have gone
information.
far.
Yeah, it would be difficult, I suppose. And Vega looks at Vega and be like, "What do you prefer?" Think
Wait,
you're
I don't hear
muted?
Vega.
Oh, I don't hear Vega any. No.
You might need to refresh.
It's like this cannibalism is spreading like a disease.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Let's not. It seems like a waste of our time to scour the land and look for the giant's hideout and interrupt the feast. I think we should set our sights on the Great Mourner or the Gunsmith Wizard.
Yeah. I mean, we do know their location, so it would be easier. Do you want to toss a coin
And,
about
you know, we're good at diplomacy. We've shown that.
it? Yeah.
So
That's lit.
2 pieces of information that you also get I think I already gave you the information about the corpse, about the vultures, right? That the saint offers them meat in exchange for their support as spies. Yeah, that. And the wizard makes the weapons. Yeah, okay, you have that. Yeah.
Well, so this guy feeds or rewards his vultures with meat when they do something for him. What if we just give the vultures the meat for free, and then they realize that they can just get it, and they don't have to do silly little tasks for anyone, and then maybe they'll be on our side.
Offer them an opportunity to cut out the middleman. Sounds perfect.
Yes, exactly. And we've got plenty of well, if we can borrow some of the cannon fodder, we've got plenty. And we've got the gestures to, I guess, because they've moved in the room like that somewhere down. Monty.
And I mean, bodies tend to follow us wherever we go. So
Yeah, it shouldn't be too hard.
We also have the horde that attacked us earlier.
Yes. So plenty
Speaking of the
plenty
horde,
food.
while you've been talking and doing the stuff, the soldiers have been slowly moving the undead towards the cannons to prepare them to be turned into fodder.
Yeah, I'm sure we can grab one or just take
Yeah.
Monty, honestly. I'm just gonna drag him around. All right, so
Yes.
vultures it is then? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
one of the most important um, aspects of warfare is reconnaissance, and cutting out the recon part would be really helpful in future battles as well. So I suggest we get rid of the Great Mourner and deal a significant blow to the Cannibal Saint that way.
Sounds good. But I suppose we set out tomorrow.
We read it dawn.
I think the horses would appreciate a rest, even if we don't.
I would appreciate a little rest. So, like I said,
And
I
a
don't
shot.
like. Yeah, well, yeah, I guess so. It's less important. It's just still like just covered in blood. It's like starting to like dry on like her skin and everything. But yeah, it's fine. All right, dawn sounds like a plan.
Okay, so in the morning you will set out towards the vultures thing, and okay, yeah, that works. That makes sense. Cool. As you're about to turn in for the night, Zippity, you hear sounds of you hear footsteps, and a soldier runs up to you, and
Okay.
he's like, we found this. And he hands you what looks like a book. It is made of leather. And he says, we found this on Monty? Yeah, that guy. It was on him. I can't really understand half of the shit. But, and yeah, so he looks at it and he says,
I'll take it.
I don't know what this material is, but I don't like it, and I don't like that I'm touching it. So please take this off my hands.
It's some leather.
Oh
yeah.
God! And he looks green in the face, and he runs off to the closest battlement to just throw a. Oh God! It's horrible.
Okay, so I've just been handed a Necronomicon. Wonderful.
Literally, yeah. That is exactly what it is. The book is in a strange, written in a strange language that you don't really understand. But it has pages and pages of notes, bunch of different stuff. You see some diagrams of bodies, and you don't really understand or decipher all of it, but that's what you can tell for from the book for now. But yeah, so night falls. Well, it's already night. You're all trying to sleep. Your dreams are wrought with the events of the day, nightmares of past events, past trauma, really, and I don't think any of you gets a decent night's sleep. The sound of the entire night, really, you hear the sound of something being ground, ground, and you know it's the sound of the bones being turned into dust to be used for cannon fodder. They kept 2 aside for you as per your request, so that they wouldn't use up all of, to not use up all of them. Is there anything you would like to do during the night before you go to sleep?
Try and clean some of the blood up. If they have anything. If not, that's okay too. But
One of the soldiers offers you a bucket and a sponge.
that works. Yeah, she'll take it and she'll try and clean it. I think she just cleans like her skin and like her hair, but leaves like the blood, because the blood stains on the clothes sort of mixed with like the blood stains that were already there. So it's like just like, yeah, this is fine. Yeah, and we'll also clean Kenny. Just like me with like the flail trying to clean just quite like I feel like she's like in a corner, like sit like crisscross, like the legs, and just like has to like after she cleans up, just clean like the flag, just talking to it, just just sat there in a corner in like half darkness, very creepily.
Vega goes to Sir Halston, tries to ask him about the undead raid on Fort Croth. Crag? Sorry, a second. Fort Court. Um, did you find any similar undead leading the charge during the raid on Fort Court?
To be very honest, we didn't really have time to pay attention to that. Once Sir Catherine fell, everyone was in a disarray, and we just fled. So it's possible. I just don't know.
Are all the survivors here at Fort Crag?
All the survivors. Sorry, I didn't get that. What were
All
you
of the
saying?
survivors here at Fort Crag.
All the survivors from Korth? Yes.
Yeah. Sounds good. Thanks for the information. And Vega returns to the group while they prepare to rest for the night.
Cool. Zippity, are you doing anything?
So Zippity would study the book a little bit, show it to his comrades, and if none of us could decipher its meaning, he would probably want to send a rider with it back to the city, so that our better minds than ours can put it to use. The last thing I want is to take it with us and them reclaim it. So if it is useful.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that can be. I don't. So none of you. What you realize is that this is written in a cipher, and without the code, it'll be very difficult to crack the cipher. Or like without the cipher, it'll be very difficult to crack the code. Whatever. That's what it is. So yeah. So if you want to send it back, you can very easily do that.
Yeah, I'd imagine we'll have code breakers back at the palace or whatever. So yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Next morning,
Yeah, let's
it
do that.
is
I'm not taking that book with me.
fair. The next morning, as you're about to set out, one of the soldiers approaches you and tells you that he's the kid who Vega you gave the purple cape to, and he first rushes up and he's like, "Sir, your cape. Thank you so much for this. It really helped last night. Also, we did some digging on the other three weird bad guys, and we found more books from them as well. They look similar. There's no code on them either, but you never know, And he hands you 3 books, or he gives them to the soldier who's also about to set out on the thing. Therefore, so you have 4 books. They have 4 books now. They look very similar. Like some of them, they look like the same person wrote it, and it was copied by different people. So like slight differences, variations here and there. The drawings are different. The runes are a little bit different because it's like each person individually rewrote them. So
Yeah, let's keep one of the books because
Okay.
we've got Monty and his skin armor. So just in case one of us needs to not look like ourselves at any point, let's keep a book and the skin armor with us.
Okay. Yeah.
I love the phrase skin armor.
Yeah, it has many uses. It's like nature's duct tape, right?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so you set off on your way to the location where on the map where they showed you the mourner usually sits, or like where his location is. You're traveling west again, so the sun is behind you. Luckily, there's no glare in your eyes as you're traveling. There is a odd chill in the air because it's still early. The sun, and sun is not at its peak, so there's no direct heat just yet. As you travel about half a day, and you come across, you hear in the distance again. You see a cloud of smoke, and you hear loud shuffling again. And I would say, Vega, with your keen sense, keen eye, with your crossbow and with your sniper thing, you can tell that this is a horde of about 300-400 undead, probably more. You don't see any of the other undead there. No one that looks like Monty. They look to be wandering aimlessly, but they are wandering towards you. There is an option here. The vibes from what you get is they will eventually find their way to the fort. Might take them a week, might take them 10 days, but they will find their way to the fort because it's a horde. They will wander around and they will get there. And the fort is not equipped to deal with these many undead at all. You have an option to plow through them, defeat them, take as many out. Or you could just go around, leave the horde to its own devices, figure it out. But if you go around, it'll add about half a day travel to your journey.
I mean, we seem like a group that goes through, right? Not around.
I feel like if Ophelia's sponsors like, can we please go through them?
So we see that there are 300 to 400 undead coming towards us, and they will eventually reach the fort that we left.
Yep.
So since we have plenty of experience fighting the undead, do we know whether they respond to other stimuli, such as, say, we throw firebolts in different directions? Would they head towards them?
They mostly just travel based on vibes. They don't really have a specific target in mind. But when they see something, they become fixated on it. But usually it's just wandering aimlessly. So like if you throw some firebolts or whatever, you might be able to split up the horde, and from 300 might become like 10 hordes of 30 or something. Or like you don't really know for sure, but it's possible.
So I suggest to others, let's just distract some of the undead so that they scatter, and we'll be left with a manageable size of the horde, which perhaps even the folks back at Fort Crack can handle. What do you guys think?
Good, but
We can slay some on the way. We can save some for us too.
I mean, the more the merrier. But
It wouldn't be a bad idea to distract some of them,
yeah,
clear
if we
our path
think,
a little.
yeah, if we think at the fort that they can handle that, they didn't seem very experienced. But maybe if we leave 10 for them, I think they can handle 10, right?
Depends if we have
Okay.
a way of distracting them.
My weapon fires fireballs during the day. Right.
And
So
if there is anything flammable around, get set to it.
Sure, we've got liquor still.
so
I meant flammable that we don't need, but
Yeah, but it burns nicely. We have the clothes from two of the undead that we have. We can tear those off in bits and pieces and with a bolt, set it on fire, and yeah, I think.
some pages of the book, maybe.
seems fair.
Pages of the book. We
Okay,
don't know
that's
what
not.
happens. We don't know what happens when you set them on fire. Maybe we'll summon more. Actually, that could be fun. Let's try it.
Looks like we're gonna find out.
So Vega fires a number of firebolts using his crossbow and attempts to scatter the horde of zombies coming their way. Ophelia charges through and
Yeah, the video's just like ready
And-
with the flail, just kind of like
Yeah.
waiting to just go.
melees everyone along the way.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going to issue a challenge to Ophelia for this.
Okay.
since Vega and Zippity have had one challenge each. So, are you trying to take them all out, or are you trying to leave some as Vega said?
Yeah, I think Thea would listen to Vega in that sense. And I think also she thinks maybe oh no, yeah. No, I think yeah. I think she will. She thinks she would leave, or she would do what Vega said and leave some of them. But she would try and plow through like as many as she can. She might like. I feel like she reluctantly listens to the plan, but will try and maybe take out a couple extra here and there if she has the time and then if she can reach them.
Okay, yeah. So your challenge is to take out as many as you can in a way that the rest of the horde is scattered, and it's a lot easier to manage and deal with for the fort. That's the challenge.
Zigzag through the fucking. Okay. Cool.
Okay. So
yes.
we build your dice pool. You start with 1d6. Are you using a reputation here?
Yes, I would like to use excitable.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think that suits quite well.
Okay. Do you have equipment that'll help you? You do. That's your flail.
Yes.
Are you putting yourself at extra risk to succeed?
I don't know. Okay, if you said at the beginning that Ophelia was used to dealing with large hordes, is this a larger horde than she's done before? So I feel like if it is a larger horde, then she's automatically putting herself at risk.
Yeah, fair. And you're doing it with and you lose another d6 because it's unusually dangerous.
Okay.
So you have 3d6.
Cool. 1 sec. That is a 6, a 3, and a 2.
Holy shit! Let's go. That is our first 6.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. You plow through these with ease. You know what? Tell me how you take care of this horde completely.
I think she's like just at this point, like sort of like kind of like twirling it around the flail, so it kind of takes some momentum, and she's just these zombies would just be sort of like staggering around, and you just see this like teenage late teenager just run straight at them like this flail like this, and she just starts like hitting them left and right, but it starts to like make she is making sort of a path through them to kind of carve them into and split them, and then once she's done that, she's gonna go the opposite direction. So she's keep going like back and forth to try and scatter them as much as she can, and she's like laughing while doing this, and she's just mowing them down very expertly, but very chaotically. I think most of her style is just flail, just throwing it around, but like I said before, she does know exactly where their kind of vital parts are, where you can best hit them to knock them out. But yeah, she looks like she's having a fun time. And at the end, I think some of them would have scattered in like little groups, broken up.
Hell yeah. I think you managed to take out more than you even wanted to, because they just seem to be like, it's like they're walking into your flail. They're just,
there's just bits flying around.
Yeah. At the end of it, there's like maybe 20, 30 of them left in like small little 3-4 groups of like 5-6 each. And the rest is just scattered. Zippity and Vega, you have fought with Ophelia before, but this is a side of her that you have not seen. This is like joyful glee and excitability and just it seems like there's like a sense of dread, like holy shit, this is what she can do, but also sense of awe, like holy shit, this is what she can do. You know?
I think it's also like a sense of like, yeah, it tracks that she's family. like, yeah, I think at the end of it, when they've also scattered, I think he just stands there once again, just covered in blood and shit, and she just sort of stands there, and like, I think there's some kind of the unit go away, and she just sort of waves at the others, and then puts like a thumb up. And so they start making her way back to them.
We make our way to Ophelia as she clears the path for us on our way to towards the mourner.
Yeah. So with this horde cleared with ease, you continue on your way. The sun is now about it's about 3-ish p.m. and you see in the distance what looks like a similar scene to what you just left behind. And for a second you're like, have we just gone around in a circle? And before you can even process that, you see a man, two men, sitting on a rock. And as you get closer, you notice one of them is holding the other in his arms. And you notice bodies of the undead everywhere. You see blood everywhere. And this is not the blood of the undead. This is red human blood. And as you get closer, this man is dressed in soldier's uniform. The same uniform that you've seen all the soldiers at the fort wear. He looks up at you. You can see tears streaming down his face. If you're here to kill me, make it quick.
I feel like Ophelia's like, no, we're not here to kill you, I think. While she's like covered in blood.
Who are you? Do you not work for him?
Who's he?
The cannibal saint.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Are you?
No, of course not. And you see he's holding someone in his arms. This person is barely breathing. They're bleeding profusely. They have bite marks on their hands, on their legs. And they're bleeding from all the bite marks.
I think you're... Oh, there we go. Steve is gone.
What?
He's here. Sorry, what?
For me, he's gone. Hang on.
For me.
He vanished. 1 second. Let me refresh.
Yeah, I see him perfectly fine. Yeah.
Wait, now I cannot see. Oh, there we go. I think I got...
Now I don't hear Anna.
Yeah.
I see them, but I don't hear them.
Okay, 1 second.
Okay, I hear you now. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Didn't hear anything after bite marks on hand, and then you vanished for me.
Sorry, what was that?
I didn't hear anything after you said there were bite.
Yeah. Okay. So this person has like, they have bite marks all over their hands and their legs, and they're bleeding from them. And the soldier looks up at you and he, I'm Alb. This is Phil. I don't think he's gonna make it.
Alvin.
Well,
Flanker?
he's
Just
population, so-
in this world, Steve, are bite marks from undead a problem, or is it just death that is a problem and resurrection by the cannibal saint? I'm not sure.
Bite marks are not a problem in this world. It's not an infection. It doesn't spread through bodily fluids or anything else. The only way that, like,
Yeah.
nobody really knew how the undead were being raised until last night,
Okay.
at least for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Phil opens his eyes and looks at the rest of you, and I did good. There was like 50 of them, just two of us. We took them out. And
That's pretty good.
he reaches into his pocket and pulls out a letter and hands it to Alb. Make sure my family gets this. And before Alb can even respond, Phil is gone. I don't. Alb just looks up at the three of you, and I don't know how much more of this we can take. We keep fighting, and they keep coming back, and we keep fighting, and they keep coming back, and I don't know how to stop it. None of us do. Whatever you're doing better be worth it.
Sure, it will be.
I think at
Can
some
you-
point we'll have to cut off the head of the snake.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, hopefully
And I'm
two more
looking
will
to-
grow back.
Well, no, I don't think it will.
Can you point me in the direction of Fort Korth?
Oh,
Um,
you might not want to go there. It's been kind of like compromised.
Fort Crag is the place for you.
Yeah.
Is Catherine okay?
Oh. No. Sorry.
I mean, Sir Holston's in charge. He'll fill you in.
Get yourself back to safety at Fort Crag as soon as you can.
Yeah.
And however dire the situation may seem, please have faith in humanity. We will bounce back from this. We will defeat the cannibal saint at all costs.
Yeah, I'm planning on it.
Yeah, I sure hope so. Alb puts his friend on the back of his horse and slowly starts to head out towards the direction of Fort Crag. Yeah. I'm assuming you continue on your way to the muzzled?
I think so wait, we have 3 corpses with us right now, right? The 2 undead and Monty.
Yeah.
And there's 4 of us, so Phineas tries to just grab one of the other undead to put on whoever's not currently having one on their horse. So we have an extra one.
Yeah. Very easily done. the sun starts to set, or well, you see the sun begin. You see it start to hit the horizon, and in the sky, you notice a giant vulture circling above, a sign that maybe you're going the right way. As you,
Is it like very far away? Like, could it see us or?
oh yeah, definitely, it's above you.
Okay.
Like it
Oh,
flies
it's
up.
like right above. Okay.
It
Okay.
flies
cool.
up, like circles around you twice, and then kind of hovers there, almost like it's watching, following something.
Yeah. So Ophelia just waves up. It's like, hi.
It's starting to get dark. You still have another day travel to go through.
Can we, when these vultures here, can we actually try and like get it to come down? Like if we use one of our buddies that we have, the food, we can try and somehow get it to come down. Be like, hey, look, here's a little snack.
You can try, yeah, definitely. I would say since it's getting dark, you can set up camp and then use one of the bodies as like an offering or something.
Yeah.
Okay, this is great.
Or even if we like have like, yeah, because it's just one. If we just have like half a body or something like that, and they can have the other half once it's on our side. Like,
Arrange a meeting, schedule us in, book an appointment through the emissary vulture that's currently here. Yeah, sounds
exactly.
Makes perfect sense.
Uh-huh.
As you set down stuff and prepare to settle in for the night, you you hear distant, probably like from very, very far away. You hear the sound of drums beating. You hear the sound of people hooting and hollering. You hear the sound of war cries. It is, you can't really tell where it's coming from. It kind of feels like it's coming from all sides. And you feel a shiver run down your spines. It feels like these are the armies gathering to finally to take down the city of myth. This is it. This is the, might take them, doesn't know how long it'll take them, but these are the armies gathering strength, gathering numbers to lay siege on myth. There's a giant rock. There's a lot of giant rocks in the desert, but there's this one giant rock where you've set up camp, and sitting, watching the fire, talking, exchanging stories. Vega, you notice it first. You see a vulture, the vulture, come and sit down, perch on the rock. It's looking at you, maintaining eye contact, almost curiously cocking its head to the side. It notices the undead carcass, and birds usually don't have expressions. At least you can't really tell
Right.
what a bird is thinking. But if vultures could show disgust, that's what its face would look like, as it looks at the dead, at the desecrated, at the undead body. It turns around and flaps its wings and flies away. About 100 meters. Before turning back around and looking back at you, Vega. And then turns back and flies another 100 meters away. And then looks at you again. Almost as if, are you coming?
Hmm. Uh, just clarification. The others are still with me, right?
Yeah. Everyone's sitting around the fire.
Right. Uh, they all notice what I'm looking at, and I asked the group, uh, guys, do you think we should follow the big vulture that just flew away from us?
Yeah, why not? Sounds fun.
I mean, we've done crazier things.
Yeah, maybe it will lead us to, the guy we're trying to find. So,
But we have been traveling all day.
true. But I mean, if it gets too far, then we'll just stop again and we'll set up camp. But maybe it's only 10 minutes from here.
And it's cooler traveling at night.
True.
Okay. Again, a question. We know that it's another day's travel to the hideout, right?
Yeah, that's based on the research that you've intel that you've been given
Okay.
here.
Right.
The guy could have moved since then.
But since the vulture is here, I say that we might be pretty close, and uh, I agree with you that we should be following the vulture. So uh, let's get on our horsebacks and follow the vulture again.
All right, let's go. I'm sad that it didn't take the offering, though. It's a bit rude. Oh well.
Yeah. Obviously, they have better taste than we thought.
Yeah. They've got better taste than my uncle, really. That's not hard, I suppose. All right, let's go.
Okay. You follow this vulture. It's literally like every 100 or so meters it stops, looks around, makes sure you're following, and then keeps flying. You follow for about 40 minutes, an hour, and you get to what you start to notice stone structures. These look old. Not as old as the forts, but pretty old regardless. Feels like you've stumbled across a town, maybe an abandoned town that there's burn marks on the rocks. There are you can see blood splatter that has long since dried. There's vines growing through the rocks, barely. This dust, sand everywhere. The vulture leads you to what feels like the center of the town. What looks like a graveyard. Gates swung wide open. A giant banyan tree in the middle. In the middle of the desert, a banyan tree. That is new. But somehow life perseveres, even in a graveyard. You notice that the bodies, or like the graves, the tombstones, headstones have been broken, and the graves are empty, at least from what you can see from outside. The vulture sits on one of the stone arches right next to the gate. and looks over into the distance, inside, deeper in the cemetery. And then looks back at you.
We're meant to go in there.
Seems like it. What's wrong?
I mean, I just feel like we're walking into a trap.
Perhaps, but I don't know. Can be kind of fun and exciting.
I mean, true. An unexpected fight is often a good fight.
Yeah.
The worship that was discussed at our offering has led us here.
Yep.
We didn't come here over this way to not follow this Welch's instructions.
True, we have followed it for an hour, so.
Right.
Want me to take a
What's
look?
another 2 minutes, eh?
I can go over and
Let's
take a look.
go. No, I think we're better sticking together.
I look around to find any twigs fallen off from the banyan tree and make a makeshift torch to light the way along as we go.
Yeah, very, very easy to do that. You're skilled travelers, adventurers. You know how to make torches and stuff. As you try to enter, your horses refuse to go past the gates. So it's almost like they're like, "Nah, fam, this is weird. I'm out."
Fair. Fair enough. I feel like these horses often look at their riders. It's like, what is wrong with these people?
I like that this is where they've drawn the line.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. It's like, well, I suppose we should leave them here.
It would have been difficult to figure out where to go from here, if not for the drag marks on the ground. Looks like something has dug up the bodies and dragged them somewhere, and they all seem to be leading to the same place. So very easy for you to find the place. It's literally
Shotgun is active as we walk.
Yeah.
You start hearing weird muttering, mumbling noises. Sounds like a chant. Sounds like someone casting magic. You feel, all of you, I think, Ophelia, you first, you feel your weapon react to this magic. It's like Kenny is trying to pull you away
Okay.
from where you're headed.
Yeah. I think she would just be like, "What's the matter? You're never scared of anything." And in cold feet now. Obviously, the weapon never replies, but this is just what she does. But yeah, I think she'd be kind of it's just funny because she's just standing there and having like a little like argument with Kenny and being like, why are you like being so difficult about it? But she has stopped in that sense, and she's like trying to figure.
So the vibe you get from Kenny is not fear. It's more, this is something that is unfamiliar and it feels wrong. Zippity, even Howler, like your shotgun is out and it seems like you have to fight and use every bit of strength you have to keep the weapon pointed in the direction that you're going in.
Wow, okay.
Vega, for you, your crossbow kind of it's you feel like it's emanating some sort of, like, if it was a person, it would be like, get the fuck out, is what you're getting from this. About 20-25 steps ahead of you, you see someone that looks like Monty, dressed in the same way, same clothes, same build even, with about 4 or 5 undead standing behind him. This person has their arms raised and is chanting out loud, and littered throughout this open clearing is nothing but bodies. As this person continues chanting, you see the bodies twitch slightly, slowly animating. Is yeah.
Have we been spotted yet?
No.
Okay. But is it so? Would it be reasonable to assume that this Monty 2 is not like the actual caster, but that is someone once again using this person as a vessel? Or does it seem like, can we see them speak? Does it seem like the speech is in time with the mouth movement?
It's a little too far away to tell. They're like 20-25 paces away from you.
Okay.
Based on your previous experience, it is possible that it's someone else controlling them. It could just be just this person. You didn't get much information about the inner workings of this organization to know for sure, to make a reasonable assumption here.
I think then Ophelia would just look at Vega and sort of move like her head towards, like, like, you have the ranged weapon here, like, just take a shot at this person.
My
Yeah,
weapon
same
seems
with Anna.
my weapon is responding and behaving very unusually. Uh, I set my sights towards the towards Monty 2, and uh, I am still very hesitant to pull uh, the trigger and fire the crossbow because of the vibes that uh, Rakon's been giving me. In the back of my head are thoughts of um, thinking whether we have inadvertently uh, walked into the gun wizard's lair, and telepathically communicate all of these thoughts to Zippity and Ophelia. Ophelia. What do you guys think?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, if it's the wizard's there, then I still think we should kill him.
I'd rather take one risky shot at the guy controlling half a dozen undead than have to wade through a whole cemetery's worth of undead to put him down.
Sounds good, Zippity. And
You got
against
this.
And I try to overpower my weapon Rakon and set my sights towards Monty 2, um, and then uh, fire a cross, fire a shot from the crossbow.
Okay, so this is going to be a challenge for you. So you
Right.
are fighting the soul of your weapon to
Right.
make a shot here.
Right. Yeah.
So let's build your dice pool. This is
Sounds
going to
good.
be interesting. You start with the d6. Are you using a
Yeah.
reputation here?
Yeah. I'm
Will-
using Ruthless.
Okay. Ruthless works. Explain to me actually
Two
how
D6.
ruthless will help in this context.
Um, Ruthless makes me get an overpowering drive. Once I've decided that I have to eliminate Monty 2, um, it gives me an overpowering drive that helps me negate the vibes that the weapon is giving me,
Okay.
and it makes me impose my will on it rather than the other way around.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Uh, I'll give you that. That's really cool way to do it. Uh, Gain a d6 if you have equipment that will help you. I think in this context, your equipment is fighting against you, so you don't get the extra d6 for the help
Mhm.
for this one. Are you going to put yourself at extra risk for this?
Um, Given that uh, uh, the situation is already dangerous, in the sense that if I fail, Monty 2 will discover us and probably accelerate the awakening of the undead. I say, I think I should take the extra risk.
Okay. How would you like to do the extra risk?
Mm, how would I like to do the extra risk? Um, could you describe me the scenario, the scene at which we are uh, encountering Monty 2? Can I step away from the rest of the gang and uh, at least keep some distance between them and me so that if I get discovered, they are still hidden?
Uh, yes. So you've basically entered a clearing in this cemetery. You're about
Right.
20. You're at the edge of the clearing, and about in the center of the clearing, about 20-25 paces away from you, is where this big dude. Not big dude, but where the main like Monty 2 is standing chanting, and from like basically I would say about 5 paces away from you till where Monty is full, like the ground is littered with dead bodies. So yeah, you can
Okay.
definitely go around the clearing and you can uh, try to make sure that the others are not spotted for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to do that, and then get up as close as I can.
Okay, so that's
That's the
another
risk, right?
dice. Cool. Uh, okay, and what I'm going to say is, as you break away, you notice Angarad is following you.
Right.
And he's like, I'm not going to let you do this alone. If we go down, we go down fighting together. And
Hmm.
Mike just donated another $5, so you get 4 dice. Roll 4d6.
Let's go.
4424.
Oof.
I have terrible luck today.
Okay. The
Four
crossbow
is a
bolt.
failure, right?
4 is a success with the consequence.
Okay.
Right. 4 and 5 are success with consequences.
Yeah. The weapon is fighting you. You are fighting the weapon. The crossbow bolt is in place. It's been fired,
Hmm.
and it arcs through the air, and it hits this dude's head with a loud thunk.
Hmm.
Immediately, he drops, but not before you realize that By the time you went around the clearing and you shot, the ritual was almost over. And there was only one thing left for him to do. And that one thing was, as you notice, about 20, 30 undead rise up around him. The last thing he had to do was a blood sacrifice. And you facilitated that by shooting him in the head.
Amazing. Wonderful.
Brilliant.
The consequence is that the undead horde has awakened. And not all of them, because it takes a while for the blood to become a sacrifice. But like about 20, 30 of these undead have awakened. It's not really a problem for you to take care of them. Like half of them are dead before they even stand up.
Yeah.
Right.
Vidya sees them rise and he's going like, yay, let's go. Just like they start rising and it just like, tonk, just knocks them back down to the ground.
The problem, however,
The farther one's
is
away, I launch a volley of bolts for the ones that are farther away, which Ophelia can't reach directly.
yeah. See, the problem was not that the undead rose. The problem was that you failed to stop them from rising. And the vulture noticed this. I guess, it flies up above you, looks at the carnage that you're causing, and it just flies away. It just leaves. We're gonna fast forward a little bit because we're running short on time. We have like 30 minutes, and I don't want to push beyond that. So just it is the next morning. You decided to put down camp right somewhere near the cemetery, and when you wake up, the vulture is there again, and this time it leads you to where you need to go, to the muzzled. You see this giant, another giant rock, but this time it is like a plateau almost. One burnt down tree, remnants of a burnt down tree in the corner, with a small makeshift hole surrounded by vultures. As you get there, you feel them judging you. You feel them looking around, talking, or like just squawking amongst themselves. It feels like they're having a conversation, and it feels like it's about you. The vulture that has been guiding you this entire time stops at the edge of this hole. It's not really a hole, it's more like a door, but it feels like a hole because you have to go down. And it takes you, it stops at the entrance, and you walk down the stairs, go down. In this staircase opens up into a big room, which is lit by artificial light coming in from the sun. In the center is, on a giant stone slab, is a lifeless body, corpse. As you approach, you realize based on intel, that this is the body of Ogward, the mourner. He has been dead for a few days, at least.
So what I'm hearing is we get to adopt some vultures.
We didn't show our skills too well, though. Maybe they don't want us.
Oh, we killed some undead. So like, I don't know.
As you're discussing what happens with the vultures, you hear shuffling behind you. And this tall, thin, spindly woman walks out from the shadows. She's dressed in all black, think like punk goth, but goth here, right? Black
Okay.
jet raven black hair, black mascara, earrings, black lipstick, and just draped in head to toe in like a black trench coat, black boots, just black everything.
Max Scott. Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to the sanctuary. Welcome to Corpse Hill. This is the sanctuary of the vultures, the sanctuary of the muzzled. Wait, no shit. The sanctuary of the great mourner. Fuck. The muzzled was the wizard. My bad. Of the great mourner. My name is shit. Oh no. My name is Sarah. I am Ogvad's daughter. I brought you here because I need help. I know why you're here. I know you want to help cut ties with the cannibal saint, and you know what? Fuck him, rightfully so. That piece of shit offered my vultures, our vultures, the undead to feast on. Vultures eat dead bodies. They don't eat the undead. The dead who have been raised and then killed again, that's desecration. And she turns to Angerad. You understand. The dead, the cycle of life and death.
Yeah, well, my uncle's quite bad at negotiation, as it turns out. So that tracks.
Yeah, so was my dad.
Yeah. Well, sorry about that.
I am his only living descendant, which means that when he dies, when he's put to rest, his powers to communicate with the vultures pass down to me. But only if he's put to rest properly, according to our customs.
Okay.
There is
Where do we come in?
Yeah. Here. There is a spot about half a day's journey from here. It's the tomb of my ancestors. It's where we're put to rest.
Okay.
I'm sure you've heard about Gorman the Giant.
Yes.
He has taken upon himself to host a feast at my family's burial grounds.
Oh, that's where he is.
If you can get past him in any way, put my father's body to rest where it rightfully needs to be. My vultures and I will work with you to defeat the cannibal saint.
I think we can work with that, right? And it looks at the others.
mean, kind of works out well, I think.
Yeah, I think that the vulture should make good spies, be a good ally.
Yeah.
Two birds, one stone, for want of a better pun.
Something like that. All right. If you show us the way, or tell us which way to go, rather.
Yeah.
Clear out the giant and allow your father to be interned.
Tormund, the vulture who's been guiding you. He's been my pet, my friend since I was a kid. I can see through him, but only through him for now. He will take you where you need to go. And then we can figure out things from there. Thank you so much for this. I can't face Gorman myself, and I don't want to take my father there because I'm afraid what he might do to him, to his body.
Yeah, that's understandable. We've heard a couple of things. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
It's all good.
The vulture. So you're going to the spot then, right? The burial tomb thing.
Yep, let's join a feast.
Cool. So the vulture guides you to where you need to go. As you get there, the sun is about to set, and you hear, as you get closer, you start hearing battle cries, drums beating, and other related things. And you start to smell things being cooked.
Right.
Yeah.
Brings back memories. We should have never allowed him in the kitchen.
Okay, so we're approaching the big showdown of sorts. I would like to know what the plan is here. So you're approaching this place is like in like a on the, how do I explain this? It's like a small depression in the earth. That's where this place is. So like you can approach it from the sides and be able to see down into like this pit. It's not a pit, but like this, it's like a giant pit. It's like about a couple of kilometers wide thing. So you have the high ground basically. You're up there, and you can and you see that this guy has set up a table right in between, right on top of what looks like a burial mound entrance, like literally taunting the dead in death. And there's like a bunch of undead hordes here. You see Monty 3, Monty 4, and other numbers of Montys here.
I love it. Just like in my mind, they all have like a little label on their chest, like the number, just sewn in.
I love it. And yeah, so there's about, I would say, 1,000 undead here, and about 20-25 Montys who control the undead. And the giant is sitting waiting for his food to be cooked. And that's the scene.
Right.
Okay.
guess it would make sense to take out the Monties.
Yeah.
So, do the undead make noises
A little bit just
before
shuffling
before we
around.
do anything?
They're shuffling around and they don't make noises from their mouths, but while they're shuffling around, or like right now they're standing still, but when they walk, they shuffle around, they create dust clouds. Yeah.
I may have a plan.
Go
Well,
on.
go on. Do tell.
I feel like if Vega and Angharad were able to pick off some of the Montes from up here,
Hmm.
I can get in amongst it and pick off a few from up close, while Ophelia has a conversation over dinner, shall we say.
I would love that, actually.
Quite a blunt conversation, but it feels like a moment
Yeah.
that he should sit down with royalty.
Yeah. Oh, that would be lovely. I really like that plan. Thank you, Zip.
I have another suggestion. So
Yes.
we know that the giant is facing one way and waiting for his food to be cooked. I suggest we approach from the opposite side of where he's facing, and so that he doesn't spot us right away, and he might mistake some of the undead falling down due to our attacks as just undead scurrying around by themselves. What do you guys think?
Above the table, if you approach him from behind, there are a bunch of Monties and other related
Yeah.
creatures there
Yeah,
who will
there
see
are
you.
Monties
Who
there,
will see
but
you? Yeah.
Like the Montes are going to put out a warning cry anyway, aren't they? I would imagine.
okay. Oh, that's fair.
I'm not imagining stealth being
What
although
if-
we do
what
have the
if-
Monty armor.
What if I walk in and I pretend I've taken my uncle's offer? And I am now on his side, and I'm joining him for dinner.
Hmm.
And then a little bit later, you all can come in and, kill the Monties. And then I'll have a stab at the giant.
Could be worth a shot.
So, would the giant know that the condition to the condition for you to switch over to the other side was to get rid of all of us?
I don't know what he knows, but it's worth a shot.
Hmm.
I mean, I imagine it's just a stereotype, but usually the big hitters, the big guys, not all that smart.
Sounds good. That does sound like a reasonable thing to try.
Right. Well, if you're watching and it seems to go south, just feel free to come in and start shooting. I don't really mind. It will be a sign to me as well that I can. Well, me and Kenny will have some fun.
You can just ask us to rescue you telepathically.
Well, yes, but I don't know.
Right.
I love a surprise.
So what have we decided?
I think Ophelia's gonna try and go in first and pretend that she's taken her uncle's offer and that she's just having a chat with him or like joining him. And I think that's sort of a distraction to have the others come in and mow the Monties down. While Ophelia will probably then have a little go at the giant.
Yeah. Okay. That
From
makes
my
sense.
understanding, at least. If I'm wrong, please correct me.
Yeah, I'm wondering whether, like, it adds risk to it from a point of view of us in support, but like, do you want to take something from each of us that would suggest that you've betrayed us and
That's a good idea.
killed us, or you know,
Hmm.
if we give up our weapons to you.
No, that's a bad idea.
It's a bad idea. I've got a knife in my boot. I've got my whip. There's other options.
I mean, dude,
Or,
like above
yeah.
table, do the two have like any like signifying like things or like symbols or stuff or like anything that is part of them?
I got my purple cape back from the soldier the other day, the guard the other day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can take the cape from you, or and then from Zip something else, and from Ankra something else. Just like not something that you like need in battle. just
Right.
just like a thing that people would like people who know of your description would know. Like, oh yeah, that's part of that person.
Licorice root doesn't sound that convincing, to be honest.
No,
Yeah.
can probably get that anywhere. Yeah, take the whip. Take the whip. I can
Oh, yeah.
retrieve that. So
Cool.
Yeah, and Angrad is going to offer you his hood.
Oh, okay, cool.
He wears an
Yeah.
Undertaker's hood. So he's going to offer you that. Okay.
Yeah, so
So,
I'll use my knife to cut my hand and put blood on all of them as well, so they look.
you can just like defeat that can just like from like her you just go on it as well. It's fine. Yeah, I think you should just sort of put everything on, like make sure actually wears it and carries it. And just walk in. I guess.
So what we're gonna do is this is gonna be the final showdown then, and the way we're gonna play this is I'm gonna assign this a difficulty of 9.
Whew. Okay.
That's
Wait, does that mean you need 9 successes, or you need to like?
no,
what does
9
that
is the target. No, 9 is the threat. Sorry, 9 is your threat. You have 1 showdown token, so it brings it down to 8. Your target is 8. What is the cost that Ophelia is willing to pay right in this moment?
Is that related to any of my traits, or what?
No,
what?
this
just
is
general?
a consequence. This is going to be like a consequence thing. How the higher the consequence you're willing to bear if this fails, the more points you get.
That's a good question. I think a stain to her reputation. I guess like, no, I guess because no one, if they survive. Yeah, no, I guess if the giant gets away, that maybe word spreads that Ophelia is potentially working with her uncle, or is considering doing so. So it's staying to her reputation essentially, which would maybe make people trust her less.
So
Ophelia, the bigger the cost, the bigger the addition to the dice roll will be.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I don't know how big a GM consider cost. Like, I don't know what like counts as like a big cost. Because I feel like if she wants to like take the throne, a stain on her reputation is quite a big one.
Fair.
Yeah, putting a threat to your claim for the throne as well, really, isn't it? So
exactly.
Yeah.
I think it goes from a 1 to a 5. I think this would be like a 3.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds about right.
Stain to reputation would be a 3. I'm going to give all of you the opportunity to decide, actually, what kind of consequence are you willing to suffer for this, for each of your individual roles for this. I think that's the fair way to do this. Zippity.
What's that?
I mean, Zippity's lived a long and prosperous life into his late 40s, which seems like a unusual event around here. He is willing to lay his life down for the cause. That's always his intention. Not his intention, but yeah, that is the price he will always pay.
Holy shit. Okay. Nice. That's a full 5.
Yeah, cool.
And Vega.
Vega, in the heat of the moment, uh, realizes or has the ability to channel all his strength into an extremely powerful blow from Rakon. A blow so powerful that the muscles on the arms will be shredded to bits, and he will be uh, basically unable to use both of his arms ever again.
Okay. I will give that a 4. Yeah, I think 4 is although I feel like if let me think about this. So loss of life is the highest, that should be a 5. But in terms of this specific thing, since Vega will not be able to use his crossbow anymore if he fails,
Mm.
I feel like maybe that warrants a 5. Yeah, fuck
Yeah,
it. It warrants
his
a
life
5.
as a loyal soldier will be over.
Yeah,
He will have to be discharged from that at that point.
yeah. Okay, so let me look at the thing again. We had a threat of 9 minus 1 showdown token. That's an 8. The bonus that Anna has is a 3, so you need to roll a 5 or higher. The bonus that Zippity and Vega have is a 5, so you need to roll a 3 or higher. If 2 of you succeed, this will be a mixed success. If one of you succeeds, that's going to be uh, a wait. Let me rephrase. If one of you succeeds, that is a success with consequence, severe consequence. If 2 of you succeed, that's a success with a minor consequence. And if 3 of you succeed, that's a full success. Yeah.
We've just rolled 1d6?
Yeah, just
or...
1d6, yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
Here we go.
Oh God, what's with Avre?
Oh.
Oh no.
I rolled a 4.
Okay.
I rolled a 5.
I rolled a 1.
We got a
5.
1. I rolled a 5.
Okay, and Vega rolled a 1. Okay, so that's 2 successes.
Yeah.
That is 2 successes. Even though it's a crit fail on Vega's part, it is still 2 successes, right? And that's what counts.
Okay.
This is not D&D where
I hate
a crit
Avre.
success.
Yeah.
I hate Avre too.
Yeah, dude, Avre is an absolute pain sometimes. I feel you. Okay, so I want you to describe how this goes, and then I'll talk about the consequences. I think that's fair. So we'll go with Vega and Zippity first, and then for Ophelia is going to have to be a little bit more role play heavy. So then we can do that, yeah. Or actually, yeah, no, it's fine, yeah.
Mm, so, as Ophelia approaches the giant, um, Vega picks up his crossbow and fires a barrage towards the Montes that he spots. Um, um, and along with the Montes, he keeps uh, continuously firing crossbow, using his crossbow towards all of the other undead as well. Um, Despite his arms being worn out, despite him being tired and in pain, he continuously he unleashes wave after wave of crossbow bolts onto the enemy. Steve?
Okay, yeah. Holy shit, yeah. We're gonna play this into the narrative in a second. Zippity, what would you like to do? How would you like to help?
So Zippity is going to, yeah, when the right moment arises after Ophelia has made her entrance, he's gonna full on like power slide down the side of the kind of bowl that they're on the edge of, cocking his shotgun howler as he goes, firing the kind of howler fires kind of spectral shells, so they're not physical, but they hit with force damage and kind of shatter what's in front of him. And he's gonna just weave the finest dance he's ever danced in combat, using his kind of dexterity and his size. When the shotgun's over here, his arms out here, throwing another body and into another pile of zombies, seeking out every Monty he can find, and breaking necks and crushing spines and pulling off a few wrestling moves. Suplex a few of them. Yeah. If it was raining as well, it'd be great. Just for that whole kind of John Wick vibe, I think that he's going to pull off here.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna put a pin in those two things as we move to Ophelia walking down to the giant.
Yes, I think she would walk in and just be like, "Care for another guest?" Don't worry about it. I am on your side. My uncle made quite a good proposal, so I took him up on it.
The giant looks at you, squints his eyes, and then just, is that little Ophelia?
Well, not that little anymore.
Look at you over here, face to face with Gorband the giant, and he smacks his chest. You're here to join forces with us?
You and my uncle, yes. I got, and she'll start like showing like the bits and pieces from like the others. Like, had to get rid of my companions, but my uncle offered me the throne, so how could I resist?
Well, all I'll say is you've made the best choice you could have. The city of myth is going to be yours. Is going to be ours soon.
Yes.
I do think that he said to bring their bodies, though, not just their items.
Well, I've left them outside somewhere. I mean, I'm just one person. I can't as much as I want to. I can't just carry all three. They're much bigger than me.
Fair enough. Come sit, and you see the feast has started to the feast is cooked, and he slams the meat down in front of you, and he looks at you, and he's like, "Eat. Prove to me that you're part of the cannibal saint."
I think she just sort of goes like, "This doesn't. Do you have any like gravy to go with this? It's kind of dry."
Yeah, we do have gravy. Yeah, special bone broth. We do.
Bone broth. Don't think I've ever had that. What goes in it? I have some allergies.
Bones and water.
That doesn't sound that. How do you get gravy out of that though? Because it's like
You grind the
doesn't really
bones
make it.
into the water.
But then don't you get just bone powder in water?
No, you let it cook and you let it simmer. It turns into gravy.
Is it like a recipe book or something that I've missed? Like I feel like because my uncle used to cook for sometimes as family dinners, and I always wondered because it always tastes a little funny. But I always wondered where he got the recipes from.
Enough.
Speaking of, what do I have on my plate?
He slams his hand on the table.
Yeah.
What do you think it is? You've come to join the
Yeah,
cannibal
but I mean,
saint.
like specific, like I get that, but like, is it like liver or a kidney or like what is it? Explain. You're the chef. You're the chef. Explain to me what I'm eating.
I'm not
At
the
least have
chef.
some Listen. Okay, I grew up in like a palace nursing. I'm used to just at least having someone explain to me what I'm about to eat. That's just the normal like courtesy that you should extend to your guest, right? You can't just like slap something in front of me and then just tell me to eat. I'm not a dog.
That
That's
is
how it works.
that is the finest meat from Sir Catherine the Great.
Oh. Oh wait, is she? Oh, okay. I'm assuming that's like at your hand.
Yeah, my hand and my club.
Interesting.
Eat.
Wait. Okay. Calm down. She'll just like she'll start picking. I think what she'll do is this. She'll start like cutting a piece, and she'll put it in her mouth, and she'll chew a couple times, and then she just looks at him, and then she just spits it out in his face. And I think at that as like kind of like using that as a distraction, so it hits him in the face, and immediately after, before he can respond, she just whacks him straight in the face with the flail.
Yeah, that is perfect. And as soon as you whack him in the face, that is the signal that the other two need. Yeah. And Vega just releases a barrage of bolts into the Montes, and immediately, as if the heavens almost parted, it starts to rain as in the middle of a desert. Wait, let me rephrase. Let me read one more time. But it starts to rain as Howler and Rakon work together in unison, and the literal thunder cracks and the sound from their essence causes the sky to form clouds to start the rain. I don't know. It happens. Okay, this is magic. And the giant staggers back. He grabs he reaches forward to grab his axe to hit you, but the hit to his jaw with the flail was too much, and he just sinks to his knees, and he's still taller than you even on his knees. And
I think like as he sort of sinks to his knees, Vega will sort of stand in front of him and just sort of grab like his hair and kind of like yank his hat back and just be like, "Who's little now?" and just fucking just whacks him. Just like lets go of his head and just whacks him again a couple times. Just starts like pounding him on him.
I think
it's amazing.
Yeah, like you don't even have to. You've already succeeded on the roll for that. So the aftermath of this, the rain, the sludge, the dredge, all this chaos you've caused, with the flail, the giant is down. I'm assuming you join the fray with your companions to root out these undead.
Yeah.
And wreck, cause havoc. Vega, you notice that this the weapon, your weapon, Rokan, it's because of how the energy it took to fire it into so many times and cause this much chaos. After the barrage, it almost you feel it start to crack, and you feel it start to buzz as it's about to. It feels like it's about to explode. You are able to toss it out of your uh, grasp into a crowd of undead, and you see the explosion before you hear it, and you are knocked backwards. There is a huge hole in the ground. The undead have been defeated, and your crossbow is in 4 different pieces. It used up the last of the energy it had in it to help you one last time before giving out. Since it was a mixed success, you didn't lose the use of your hands, but you might have to get a new. You will have to look for a new weapon. Is the consequence. It stops raining. You move the table to the side, and you put down Ogvard's body where it's supposed to be down to rest. Before you even step away, you see a bunch of vultures descend. They come down, they sit next to the body, and they scream, almost as if mourning the loss of their friend. And then they feast. It is the circle of life. This is how they take care of their dead. Sarah shows up a little while later, thanks you for all the help, and offers you her support and the use of her vultures as spies against the Cannibal Saint. You made a huge blow, a huge dent in this. And as we slowly start to, as you start to head back towards Myth, what is one last thing that you would like to do?
I'll go last on this.
I don't like to do. I don't know if there's anything Ophelia like to do. I think she's more as they get closer. I think she's just spending more time kind of in her mind trying to figure out how exactly she's going to kill her uncle. I think normally she's been very kind of diving into things head first, don't really think about it, just whack. But I think she wants this death to be kind of theatrical in a way, or she wants to like sort of like really, I guess, get her point across and rub it in his face when she like, you know, has him on his knees and like. So I think she's just spending a lot of time like thinking about how exactly she's going to do it.
Okay, Vega.
Vega does a small ritual in honor of his fallen crossbow. Reminisces on the battles he has fought alongside Rakan, and erects a small token on the ground in memoriam of Rakan, the crossbow that fired till its last string and gave out fighting a valiant fight. And then Vega goes towards the fallen giant, inspects the club, and tries to take it back to his to the kingdom, and tries to see if he can get it reforged into another magical weapon that he can use in the future.
As you pick up the club, you see that it shrinks to fit your size, your stature. The blood on it washes off, and you feel a familiar sense of belonging as the club starts to glow, and you feel the spirit of Rakon imbue itself into the club. You might have lost a crossbow, but you haven't lost Rakon. Zippity.
Single tear drops across Vega's face.
I love it.
Okay, so I'm gonna have taken the giant's head so that we can take that back as a trophy to kind of instill some sense of vengeance and some cheer in the guys at Fort Crag. And it's a couple of days back there, so I think we'll have camped, and then it's the morning of the final day's journey before we arrive back at Fort Crag. And as they're riding out, having broken camp, Zebedee Dudar is gonna look at his companions and just say, "My oh my, what a wonderful day!"
Wonderful indeed.
The camera pans out to the four of you, making your way back to Myth, and it zooms out and out and out as you see the forts. You see the salt sea, and you see in the middle of the sea an island. The camera zooms back down into the island. There's another circular fort with 4 battlements, zooming inwards to a throne. We see the cannibal saint leaning against, sitting down on his throne, annoyed, angry, throwing things. A hooded figure walks up next to him and puts a hand on his shoulder. "It's all right, my friend. Our work has only just begun." As he takes off the hood to loud cheers, it's Zippedee's brother, the mastermind behind the undead, as a group of Monties start cheering. And we zoom out again to see the entire fort surrounded by hordes and hordes and hordes of the undead, building a bridge across the salt sea straight to Myth. You may have won today's battle, but the war is not over. And no matter how hard you try, the cannibal saint's victory is inevitable. And that is where we leave our players for this one shot.
No, just kidding. It was really good. I was saying boo and that he's gonna win, but that was amazing. I loved it.
Yeah.
So good, Steve.
Hell yeah.
Already
I'm so
well
glad.
done.
Let's do outros. I know we ran a little bit past time, so thank you, Mike. Anna.
Oh, yes. Hi, I'm Anna O'Reilly, whichever one you prefer. I use the dim pronouns and I'm definitely human. You can find me literally anywhere at Peculiar Players. I'm on pretty much every social media. I'm still on Twitter, but I've moved to Blue Sky a little bit more, but I've been there for a while. As for things, I am playing Vampire the Masquerade on Sunday over at the Misadventures League at 7 p.m. Central European time. I think we're doing now. And I am part of a Pathfinder actual play podcast called Twilight's Edge over at Tumble True. We've had 2 episodes drop right now. We drop episodes every Tuesday. So look for socials that say Tumble True and like on Spotify, YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts. Yeah, that's it. I had a lot of fun. This was a very fun character to play. I'm definitely going to do something like this again. But yeah, thank everyone, and thank you, Steve.
Yeah, absolute joy to play off a character like that, especially with trying to be serious cannibal saint and you're just laughing in his face. That was great.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it was really funny.
Vega, Swift, sorry.
Hey, I'm Swift. I don't really have any social media to promote. I'm mostly off social media at this point. But it was really fun playing with you guys. You guys really
Same.
embodied the role that you set out to play and created, and it was really fun seeing that. Especially since I'm relatively new to RPGs, um, I think I got to have a great experience and learn a thing or two.
Yeah, it was good playing with you.
Hell yeah. Mike.
Yeah, very good. I am Mike. You can find me on Twitter at LumberjackK8, although I will be moving stuff over to Blue Sky and hopefully lining everything up with my other persona, which is Run Like Craig, of one form or another on most other socials. I am part of the Dark Waters cast over here at Pantsless Tables, along with Anna and Steve. We'll be returning on November the 4th, on a Monday, for our random Monday stream, for the next episode, which I cannot wait for. And other than that, few possible things in the pipeline, applying for lots of other bits and pieces, but hope to step into Steve's shoes and run something over here at some point soon in the new year. So that's the plan, if Steve will have me.
Hell yeah. Okay. I'm Steve. I run Pantsless Tables. This is my first time DMing on this channel, and my 6th time DMing overall. So big deal. Really excited. This is my 3rd time running Inevitable, which is also really cool. Every time I have run this game, people have chosen to go after the vultures, and I think that is really cool. It has happened every time, and yeah. Okay, we're gonna go. It is late. It is almost 2 a.m. here. I'm gonna let all the players go rest. Yeah, and we're gonna see you tomorrow for the finale of Oops All Bards, and Sunday for the finale of our Call of Cthulhu mini-series. And then Monday, I'm taking the week off. I'm going home for a week. So, yeah, that's basically all of that. See you around. Thank you for vibing, and goodbye.